Forgive me. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Realms of Pugmire playing fetch session. Forgive me. Hello. Um, when last our heroes met, the Dr. Bones, Brisby, and Oz had done some investigation around Port Matthew. Went to meet with Crowley Von Longhair, found out the details of that particular race. And they also managed to track down Reggie the Untrustworthy and have their own conversation with him. While that was going on, Liam had kind of wandered off into Port Matthew. And no one was quite sure where Liam had went, but they were all fairly certain that Liam would return post-haste. So, diving right in, where has Liam been for the last day in Port Matthew? What would Liam have been up to?
I think at first probably just wondering a little bit, trying to decide how they are feeling about the whole thing. With now there's been like this seed of even stronger doubt planted in his head that, oh well, maybe this is a lot more dangerous than what he initially thought. It's like all adventure comes with a certain degree of danger, but he didn't really sign up for dying. It's the big thing.
Right.
It's like, so he might have wandered and spent some time reflecting on like, oh, is this worth it or not? Should I? Well, and then probably coming to terms with like, you know what? I could just bail if it gets really bad. Hopefully, I'll just bail. And then I think maybe sometimes spent sauntering on their own, just kind of going like, oh, well, I don't have to go back right now, do I? Nah.
I just see this as like an intercut thing of like this full color like comic pages of the rest of the session that happened last week, intercut with these like very heavy Sin City like influenced, just stark black and white images of Liam wandering the streets like, I don't want to die. I think I'll just leave if it gets bad.
Yeah. Like when it gets a little bit too dark, it's just like, probably I could just go like, hey, peace out. I'm out of here. It's like initially very scared that, oh no, what if like reaching the farm upstate, like that means that I have to die, and then it's like, well, I'll just bail.
Well, there you go. As you've come to peace with that, you return to the ship in dock, where you find the rest of the crew who have all completed their carousing, their questioning. I believe you had all headed back to the ship to get in a good night's rest before you were starting away on the trip. Is that am I remembering that accurately?
I believe so. I don't think any of us were down any points of anything, but yeah, why not?
All right.
I'm very envious of getting a good night's rest right now.
Yes, exactly. That's why we play these games to fantasize that we can get a full night's sleep.
I remember like when I was young and I had insomnia, my favorite part of fantasy novels was just like, let's go to sleep. And they do.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't care about, magic or being able to fight monsters. Just ability to go to sleep on command is pretty crazy.
It is pretty intense. But you do manage to get some rest, and when you wake, Liam has returned to the ship. What would you
look what the contract in. Sorry, is that inappropriate?
I don't know, Harry Hairball. What do you think?
Well, I don't think it is at all. I mean, is that a what? I haven't had my kibbles and bits this morning.
Caffeinated kibble.
Caffeinated kibble.
As you are chowing down and making your present or your preparations for sailing out, is there anything that you would like to do before you actually get out on the road?
I think we're all pretty well rested and prepared. I think. I think.
Dr. Bones is ready to go.
Yeah, because we got the repair, or like we had our ship. But we didn't have anything done to our ship, right? We didn't have.
We
to.
upgraded it.
Okay, that was here. Yeah, that was before we left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
No changes no upgrades were made to the ship. The only thing that you acquired were those bellows.
The bellows. Okay. And a cream.
Yes, and what did that cream do?
It helped mask or heal. I can't remember the distinction. Deformities
Healed
for
them.
a while, but it wasn't permanent. I don't believe.
Wasn't it? I thought it was.
No,
Sorry, I
I
left
don't
my
think
notebook
so.
upstairs.
I thought it was like semi-permanent. It like because I know they said that it was used to like remove makeup and stuff.
Right.
Well, yeah, you used to remove.
Yeah.
I think it's permanent, but it doesn't do any. From what it sounded like, because it just does like if you have a scar, it will get rid of a scar. But if you are if you're missing an arm, it won't grow it back.
Right. It causes cosmetic regeneration effectively.
Yeah, but it is permanent.
Is it?
Right, right.
It would permanently
I thought you
regrow a
said-
mustache.
I thought you
Yes.
said you had to reapply it, Travis, for certain things.
Apply directly
but-
to the head.
Oh,
You may some things might take multiple applications.
okay.
Okay.
So
Make
it's
them go
real
away.
bad.
Okay.
To peel the fantasy veneer back for just a moment, what you found or what you were given is a jar of like the cream that one might put on stretch marks or scars to make them
Vitamin
go
E.
away. It's,
Yeah. A&D ointment.
it's a relatively common modern thing, but in the context of many, many years in the future when the uplifted animals are ruling and we're all long gone, this will be a magical item.
In the faraway year of 2030.
Right. in the distant future of next week. Okay, so you are getting ready to head out then. We had discussed you're going from Port Matthew directly to Tilly Isle, correct?
Yes.
And
Where we kind of think it is, right? Because we don't 100% know because it's only visible once per 10 years.
right, and you have a rough map to where it is supposed to show up. Now, the bellows you were given double your speed, but also double your seaworthiness.
Acid damage.
Yeah, your seaworthiness
Yes.
loss, correct?
Yes. We also filled our crew with zombos.
Correct. So everything is
I
every
do have a thing for that.
roll
So
is
the-
covered at this point.
Helm of Animate Dead. That's right.
Yes.
So if you want to start things out by having your navigator,
No, it's not me.
that would be your sailing master. Yes. Make a you just need to make a basic course plotting roll. And that gets made with advantage. So their wisdom score, we're going to say, is they have a +2 modifier. And they
It's
got,
a wise zombie.
they got a natural 20. Your sailing master is the crow.
Yeah.
That's
Crows
right.
are smart.
They got a natural 20. So they're able to shave an additional day off of your travel just by looking at places like, oh, we can ride these rapids and it looks like it's longer on the map, but I promise it'll get us through quicker. Type of stuff.
It's like taking a
Always
highway.
trust a crow.
And
Crows will always trust by the way the crow sails. It's always faster.
Absolutely. Now, are you going to use the bellows the entire time?
Yes, I think so. I think we should.
I think so, but like I guess because we did buff up our resistance to the acid, and we have somebody in place that'll help.
Rolls, so
okay, yeah, and just by virtue of you being in place,
I know.
Yeah, that means that I don't know. Is there any way to fix the boat while we're in the acid sea? Like if shit gets real?
Yeah,
Am I allowed to cuss on this podcast?
we do have the grown folks filter up, so yeah.
Okay.
But yes, you absolutely can make repair checks while you are at sea. It's just it just then starts to become they're more challenging to do so.
I bet. Yeah. Sure.
Well, let's do like use the bellows at least for the first couple days, and then if the ship starts falling apart, we'll stop using them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Can we roll our checks for the first couple?
It strikes me that I don't know exactly how this ratio is going to work out, but like to get to Tilly Island, it's going to be the same amount of damage whether we go slow or fast. It kind of sounds like if it doubles our speed, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean, unless we go the wrong way. Much quicker, I suppose.
Yeah, let's go the wrong direction real fast.
But I mean, the crow's like, dude, I got this. Like, we don't know that you rolled a nat 20, but we know he's confident. Oh, he feels pretty good about this stuff.
He's got some shortcuts, yeah.
Yep.
So
I agree.
On day one of sailing, what I would like to do is let's have the captain just give me a straight up D20 roll. Let me know if you get a 17 or higher.
13.
Beautiful.
I hate when he says that. You could roll a nat 1. He's like, excellent or beautiful. It's like, dude.
It all tells the story.
All results are beautiful in their own way.
Exactly.
We're not going to roll shame anyone.
At the end of the, we love these rolls just the way they are. At the end of that, you're looking at 7. So 7 seaworthiness loss for the first day.
Okay.
That can be offset by your first mate.
Yeah.
And it will be. I refuse to take such grievous damage to our pride and our vessel.
Let me triple check that is in fact what the first mates thing does and not the...
I'm pretty sure that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all I do. I think all I do is just give you like bonuses.
Yeah, you don't heal it.
I reduce it by a D6 or
D10.
a D10 or something.
Yep.
D10.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and give me that
how many
D10.
days is this?
This is day 1. Go ahead and give me your D10 roll.
9.
Excellent. So you effectively lose no seaworthiness the first day, and you're not suffering from any penalty to seaworthiness for degradation. So you effectively don't have to make a check the first day to see if there's any integrity loss. So that first day of sailing is
Uptake.
Fairly uneventful and definitely zipping you along at a remarkable rate. The seas on that first day if you're effectively going in the general direction of Waterdogport, but not straight for it. And the seas are fairly calm that first day. Nothing to speak of. Are there any day 1 at sea activities that y'all would like to engage in?
Real quick, we're going to Waterdogport before we go to Tilly.
No,
Island?
you're just passing Waterdogport on the way to Tilly Island. Waterdogport's just because Waterdogport's where the race actually started from.
Okay, right.
Today. So you're 4 days shy on a standard ship speed. You're 4 days shy of Waterdogport, which puts you 4 days behind everybody else in the race.
Wait, I didn't know that.
That's why you got the
we're right
bellows.
buggered.
Yeah.
That's why he gave you the bellows. So now at the end of that, because you have effectively made 2 days worth of travel on day 2, that now puts you only 2 days behind starting day 2. No, that puts you 3 days behind starting day 2.
And the nat 20 got us an extra day ahead, right?
Right. So it would have been 3 days, all things considered, and then with the natural 20, now you're 2 days behind on day 2. So if you are able to keep that speed up, you should be able to overtake those ships.
Beauty.
Now,
Slow and steady wins the race.
you have the option. Your sailing master tells you have the option of adding kind of a day worth of travel to give them a wider berth, so that we don't risk the possibility of running into another ship that's participating in this race. It just means we'll have to push the bellows longer.
Oh, okay.
Or we go through and we risk the very real possibility that one of those other ships is going to try to take us down. Now we can outrun them probably with the bellows, but
we also buffed up our weapons too.
That's true, and I mean, the ship has a pretty decent hull.
Okay.
And they don't know we're in the race.
This is true.
We weren't
We're just-
there to register.
I mean, that's true. Why don't you go ahead and make a no culture check if you don't mind there, Oz?
Absolutely. I don't believe I have that. And I'm sorry.
You have
This
no
is
culture.
this is the 5th system I've played in 24 hours. Remind me, what do I add anything if I don't have the knowledge?
Yes, it goes to the skill that knowledge would fall under, so intelligence.
Got it. That's a 10.
Okay, that's good enough. You know, not with like absolute certainty, but knowing the behaviors that surround events like this, whether or not you're registered in that race is not likely to stop them from shelling you if they see you moving in that direction fast.
Fair.
You know?
Valid.
Well, we're lucky
But-
that our captain is always shelled.
Maybe it's that's true. That is true, and that is also another point in the fortune bowl.
Very nicely done.
That's why I'm here to generate fortune.
So yeah, it's like there's a very good chance. You know for a fact that they've sunk just like regular shipping frigates during this race.
Okay.
If you're familiar with the Savage Steve Holland masterpiece One Crazy Summer, this race is very similar to the regatta featured in that quality film. And if you're not familiar with it, you should go rent it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not, but I've been to regattas.
Oh man, they had to
And they
throw
are
like
pretty
the freezer
bloodthirsty.
overboard, full of fish sticks and stuff and ice cream, right?
The best scene in that film is when because it's an 80s teen film, there's a bully. And that bully punches. We had a camera shift. I'm gonna
Sorry,
get that.
Travis. My
Don't
camera
worry.
glitched for a second.
You're all good.
Yeah, I think it's good.
So they had a bunch of.
I just got swapped with Krista. Sorry.
So they had a bully that at one point punched Bob Goldthwait's character in the face, and Bob Goldthwait's brother worked at the auto shop that this bully had taken their Ferrari. So one of the climactic moments, spoilers, cover your ears, is when they need an extra bit of speed in the regatta and they blow the back of the engine on their boat and there's a Ferrari engine on it.
Dude, I loved that movie when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Don't you
I was
love
like-
having those triggered?
Oh my god, hold on. I gotta look this up.
They do
now. I
have
gotta
to
watch this
throw the
again.
freezer overboard, right? Like the guy's up there eating an ice cream or something like that. And like, wait, we gotta get rid of extra weight. And it's like,
Oh yeah.
wait, where'd you get that?
Yes, because there's definitely fat jokes in that film.
Was John Candy in that?
And the
Was John Candy wasn't in that,
no,
right?
it was Bobcat Goldthwait and it was John Cusack. Oh man,
But I
that was
thought
back when John Cusack was the guy I kept thinking I would grow into because he was every guy in their early 20s.
Yes.
Yeah.
It also
And now
had-
you've just run over a bunch of pedestrians in a car.
It also stars a young Demi Moore who during a fight scene has the wonderful, remarkable, memorable piece of dialogue When asked if she knows martial arts, she says, "No, I know Dow. Dow is the chemical company that makes mace," and then sprays somebody in the face with mace.
What a good line! Holy fuck! Oh, iconic! Holy shit!
It's a really good movie. If you get the chance, watch.
I think I need to now.
Watch that, and then double feature it with Better Off Dead. Just remember, both of those movies were made in the '80s and have content that didn't age well.
I was trying to think, like, what scene? Somebody has probably called the F slur. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can get it everywhere, Krista. So everywhere it's like $5.
Hell yeah.
And you could also chain it with The Secret to My Success, Weekend at Bernie's, and License to Drive.
Oh,
They
I
are
do love
all
Weekend
the-
at Bernie's.
Oh my god. And Can't Buy Me Love. What channel is this?
Can't Buy Me Love? Oh, Patrick Dempsey, my first love.
I see.
Well, it turns out you can buy it for about $5.
Yeah,
And
there we
just
go.
one of the guys.
Oh God. Oh Lord.
Oh, that didn't age well.
Talk about a
that
movie
and
that's
Soul
hard.
Man. Well, just one of the guys
You know
in
what?
Soul Man for the ultimate
I watched
cringe,
the-
like that didn't age well humor.
I watched the crap out of Soul Man when I was a kid. And,
I did too.
Yeah,
I saw
did
no
not-
problem with it, and I'm ashamed to say that.
Did you watch the
And
pilot?
I was like,
Somebody's.
oh,
Hanks.
yeah.
Did you watch
I love
the show Bosom Buddies?
I love. Well,
Oh, was
yeah.
it a full show? Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it was a show.
Bosom
Yeah,
Buddies was on for like
I
4
tuned in
seasons.
every
Yeah.
week.
This is why the people tune in to this show to hear
Yeah,
us
it's
talk about
pop
80s
culture
television.
palooza. Movies that you shouldn't watch with modern sensibilities.
Listen,
Yeah,
we're
correct.
just killing time while I look up some of these rules. Actually,
Yeah, it's funny to think that essentially there are John Cusack movies now that are on par with Birth of a Nation as far as like not able to watch them in earnest anymore.
Couple
So-
Oh,
more.
really?
Well, I mean, not his are
Cusack's weren't
amongst.
so bad. I mean,
His weren't so bad.
by
There are
comparison,
a couple scenes in Revenge of the Nerds that even at the time I'm like, that seems
That
messed
seems
up.
kind of illegal.
This is
Yeah, I
our
did
our
well.
standard disclaimer. Approach any film released between 1980 and 19 and last week with a great deal of caution, as you may.
Yeah.
And Revenge of the Nerds is great, except for those few scenes, and then you're
Yeah. Yeah.
We should do a redemption cut of Revenge of the Nerds, but not right
Well, I
now.
mean-
Right now, we should be playing.
Yeah, I think we should sail.
We need to cut through the waves.
We're all watching
Lives.
ancient movies, like while we're in our downtime on the.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing. We're watching the ancient movies, and we're being very impressed that the Naked Gun movies held up 99%.
Those are good.
This is the last bit of
Liam Neeson is going to be in
Yes.
a new Naked Gun movie.
They are in fact.
Is he still alive?
He is.
No, he died. 10 years
Good
ago.
question. No, their Weekend at Bernie'sing. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, between that and the Fletch Lives that just, or Confess Fletch that just, whatever.
Oh,
we're
Liam
playing
Neeson. I
a
thought-
playing game on the scenes, everybody.
Yeah, wait.
Oh, so I thought you were talking about Leslie Nielsen, not Liam
Yeah.
Neeson. My God, that.
No, Liam Neeson is
Those
going to be the new
names.
one.
Oh, Liam Neeson,
So-
not Leslie
So
Nielsen.
Liam Neeson is replacing Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, yeah.
Which won't confuse anyone at all.
That might be
I mean,
part
it's
of why they
confused
did
me
it.
right now.
That might be part of why they did it.
I'm
quite
sure
frankly.
that's
They're-
part of why they did it.
They're remaking Death Becomes Her with Goldie Hawn's daughter and Meryl Streep's basically adopted daughter, Anne Hathaway.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. I
love
was
it.
going to say Meryl Streep's daughter is a smoke show. So, like,
That too.
if you saw them in Mr. Robot, she's
That is amazing. I love it.
just a Xerox of her mom.
Sorry.
It's-
Back.
yeah, back to
That's-
Pugmire.
That's quite all right. While you're having this conversation about the ancient art forms by the that were appreciated by the
Exactly.
old ones, I know Liam was carrying a masterwork. Were you going to at any time during this downtime? Were you going to try to absorb that, or are you holding off on that?
We should try to.
I did absorb one thing.
Okay. And that is
I think.
that is done, and you have processed it. I know we talked about what you would get for it. I don't remember if you had gone through
What
it.
I've written down, it says I should add one what's it, D4? Like, no? Or
Yep.
just 1 damage? My notes are a mess, but it
Yeah,
says lightning damaged for unarmed strikes.
Correct. And then if you refine that gift as you level, the amount of damage goes up. So it starts with 1, but then like when you get an advancement, you can refine it now so that it goes to 1d4 to 1d8 up to a d12, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Makes
Travis,
sense.
we never introduced ourselves at the risk of derailing us even more.
We didn't. We'll do it at the end. That's fine.
There you
We'll
go.
cover it. We'll cover it in the sign out. So day 1, despite the numerous distractions, as you find a stash of old media aboard this ship, you move on to your second day. Day 2, I would like a D20 check, please, from our captain.
12.
Beautiful. Let me drop the seaworthiness loss. And if I could have a check from our first mate to see if you can overcome
That is
seaworthiness.
a 4.
You manage to reduce any seaworthiness loss on the second day. And the way that you're doing this effectively comes down to, it's very similar to like things like dropping crew off the side of the boat to scrape plankton kind of thing. In this case, you're like dropping them down to like slap patches on places where the hull is getting bubbly and things of those nature. It's also about making sure that because seaworthiness doesn't just reflect the actual structure of the ship. So some of it is making sure that you're keeping track of like what supplies are going to go bad first. You know, today we had all better eat these limes because they're starting to look a little foul. That is also reflected in your seaworthiness. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the second day goes by without incident, and as you're continuing to use the additional speed, that brings you. So they advance 1 day, you advance 2, so that puts you then 1 day behind the majority of those folks. I would like. I'll go ahead and make a check for your sailing master, who is also up in the crow's nest, oddly enough. They don't notice squat. So you start zipping along, and as you're wrapping up sailing for that second day, you can spot. I'd like each of you to go ahead and give me just a notice check, please.
Nat 20.
Hey, that's a
That
skill.
one.
Nice. You are otherwise occupied.
He's fallen and gotten stuck on his back and just kind of
Alright.
rolling.
You're reading these old writings of the old ones that you found, and you're like, why did they think any of this was okay?
I got a dirty 21 on
Excellent.
notice and stuff.
I love it when my 21s are dirty.
So I heard
That describes mine.
I heard a natural 20,
Yeah.
and I heard a dirty 21, and then a botch. And what did Liam get?
Liam got an 11.
Beautiful. Okay. So those of you who got up into the 20s, you see that a boat, as you're kind of getting along, you see there's a boat who looks to be adrift. Looks like maybe they had run into some bad, some sort of bad conflict. There's definitely deliberate damage to the hull. Looks like probably it got peppered with some cannons, and they're floating adrift on their own. What would you like to? Oh, you got a natural 20 on this as well.
I did, yes.
You also can see the telltale real faintly, the telltale sort of wake of something circling that ship.
I see the telltale wake of something circling that ship. I'm not sure what. My eyes aren't as keen as they used to be, but probably something not good.
I can't imagine the Acid Sea has a lot of good things in it. So I believe our articles kind of say we kind of have to go help them, kind of, right? Or no?
They look like they're in dire need. Is there someone in dire need? I can't. I seem to be stuck. Can someone give me a hand, please?
Kelly and I could choose to just whistle past that particular graveyard and go.
This is true. If the captain doesn't see,
A couple of the zombies pick you up by the sides of your shell and stand you upright.
much thanks, gentlemen.
It's an opposite weekend at Bernie's.
It's Tuesday at Bernie's. So yeah, would you like to go investigate this wreck or just cruise on by like you didn't see nothing? That is an option that you have.
I think investigate.
We have to go and help anyone who's there, unfortunately, for our race, but fortunately for the goodness, for we are good boys and girls and skeletons.
That's all. That's
Turtles.
all absolutely valid.
Turtle is my gender.
As you,
I didn't want to presume. I can't easily see what's dangling. I guess I'm wearing pants, but yes.
New gender just dropped. Turtle.
New gender just dropped. Well, it's not like the ducks. Ducks don't wear pants. They're very easy to tell.
And mice don't wear shirts.
But unlike with geese, it's very improper to ask a geese its gender. Gender.
As you get close to the ship, you can clearly see two folks running about, like
You hear
frantically trying to assemble what looks like a life raft. And all of you, I can safely say, can do the math to figure out that a life raft here is a stopgap measure at best. There is a very good chance that if no one would pass through here, with the possible exception of those returning from the race, before that life raft melted away into nothingness.
We have plenty of room on our ship for what would presumably be their complement of folk, right?
As near as you can tell, whilst you're approaching, you see exactly one dog and one turtle moving around, sort of frantically trying to assemble this ship. You've never seen a turtle move so fast. As like now that you're approaching it and you're closer and you realize there's not like any optical illusions from the curvature of the world or anything. You're like, oh, this ship is actively sinking. Like it is probably 6 inches lower into the water when you arrive than it was when you spotted it. So it's going down slow. And as soon as they clock you pulling over that way, you see one of them, the turtle starts just frantically flailing a white flag.
Ahoy, mateys. Can we be of assistance?
Yeah, we've been attacked. We're not in good shape. We're going to have to abandon ship.
Yes, of course. Let us pull up beside you. One moment.
Be mindful. And as you pull up aside, you see that wake now become visible to everyone as the school of acid sharks. You count probably about 6 of them are circling this boat.
Action
Ooh, yes.
sharks.
This isn't going to end in penny whistles and moon pies.
What a delightful acronym.
I could howl for a moon pie right now.
Are there some in the galley?
Let us worry about refreshments once we have these folks on board. Is it just 2 of you?
The turtle says, yes, everyone else was slain. We were overcome by the green plague. We thought that our ship could outrace her.
Oh, it's not. I was about to say, we're not going to.
I was worried we were going to have to quarantine you.
No, in fact, I'll let all of you make a no culture roll, if you don't mind, please.
That's on intelligence, right, buddy?
Defers down to intelligence.
6.
8,
16.
10 total.
I got a nat 1. I'm scared. I have to run away from these people.
That's fine. You run like under decks and just go find somewhere to hide. That's fair. With a 16, you recognize the green plague is the name of a notorious pirate vessel. The tales of their attacks have spread far. Many pirates think that it is best to avoid that ship.
Pirates want to avoid them.
Yeah, they're kind of you're getting like a Blackbeard vibe from the as you think back on the rumors of this ship. They're dangerous. They're known to take no prisoners. And they are known to their captain is Phineas 12beaks, one of the roughest, most violent crows to ever sail a ship. They are the terror of Dalmatian Cove.
Okay, so I know this because of my check, right? Is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Trav?
effectively, you've heard rumors about this ship.
Okay. I just quickly explained that to everybody except Liam, I guess. I think
Yeah,
I read the room.
he's gone.
Liam's gone, and I read the room and said, "Let's not panic, Liam, anymore." Like maybe Liam was right to go under dark.
You can you also know that you can recognize the green plague by the fact that its plastic hull is painted green from stem to stern. It's just it's a completely green vessel.
Ballsy.
Yep. And rumors
Hard color to pull off.
Rumors of it,
Yeah.
you don't know how true these are, but rumors of the vessel indicate that it continues to remain at sea without docking because they just sort of slap on replacement parts from ships that they scuttle. So effectively, it's a pirate ship of Theseus.
It's a vampire ship. They're vampires.
They're the Pugmire Borg.
Yes. Resistance is Borg.
Wait.
Borgmire.
It's Morkborg.
One day we will.
Borkmore?
But that is not
more pork.
that Pugborg. So as you're calling out, the turtle says, "I will join you, but I think you're going to find some protests from the captain." And the captain calls over and says, "Go, you've been rescued."
Oh, the captain's wanting to go down with the ship. Maybe that's an article or something like that.
You don't. It may very well be one of their articles.
Oh,
Okay.
Please come now, Captain.
Is it premature, I asked the group and the game master, to start trying to target our weapons on the sharks?
Might scare him off, if nothing else.
Do we have enough spare ammo that we can do that? 'Cause
Yeah,
I guess we probably do. Given the way the system works, it's probably just like a hand wave of how many shots you have.
We buffed it up pretty okay from what I remember. I don't know how many
Yeah,
bullets or cannon shells or whatever the fuck we got.
the supplies on your ship are all a reflection of seaworthiness. So, for example, if you lose seaworthiness after this, that's because you're low on ammo. That's because you're low on, you know what I mean? Like, it all ultimately filters through seaworthiness.
So if we use our guns, that
In and of themselves,
negatively impacts seaworthiness,
in and of themselves,
or the other way around.
No. Right. It doesn't. It has no impact in and of itself. There's no tracking of ammunition at all in Pugmire. Generally speaking, if ammunition becomes an issue, whether or not you have it, it defers to a wisdom save. The way I tend to run it with pirate stuff is just you're assumed to have ammunition unless you specifically say something like, "Well, since our seaworthiness is so low, we're going to throw the cannons and the armor overboard so we don't sink." Things along those lines.
Can I roll some kind of check to see if I know, like, how these acid sharks behave? Like, is it a good idea to start taking pot shots? Is it dangerous because it might hurt the ship?
Will there be splashback?
Will there be splashback?
A survival or a no?
Survive is one of my skills. Now, after that show of braggadocio, watch me roll a nat one. No, but not great. 11.
Okay. That should be enough to.
I think I got an idea.
Some insight into acid shark behavior. So.
Getting all Jacques Cousteau on us over here.
What you realize is that these are terrible creatures. You never want to lay eyes upon them. You must swear.
You blind your microphone.
You must swear to me that you will never listen to this footage of this.
Your microphone clipped out, or my audio clipped out, so I didn't listen.
Yeah,
I'm a good boy.
So you know that the biggest issue that acid sharks pose, there's two things they can do. They can ram into a ship and cause a little bit of a rough day for you. But the real danger is if they get their bite on you. They leave corrosive fluid in the wounds from the acid sea itself, but also from their own saliva, which continues until they're washed out with clean water or healed magically. So you don't want to get bit by them.
Oh boy.
As long as you can refrain from getting in the sea, your chances are pretty good that you will not have to directly interact with them.
Okay.
And there's certainly enough rigging and rope and gangplanks that you can facilitate the escape of the one person who seems to be willing to leave. Now, Oz, were you going to try to talk the captain into not going down with the ship?
Yeah. Be like, come now, Captain. It's much better to live another day, to fight another day. Perhaps you can get your vengeance on the Green Plague for taking your ship.
Why don't you go ahead and make a charisma? You can use persuade if you have it.
I do not, but I do have a little charisma.
I'll say you do,
help.
buddy.
It doesn't help when I roll a 9.
You got
10.
12 points in the fortune bowl. So.
Oh, right. Can I use one of those?
Anybody have any objection?
No, go ahead.
Go nuts.
Please do.
And that's a reroll, yes?
Yeah, effectively it grants you advantage.
Right. Okay.
So you can also use that if you have a roll where you have disadvantage. You can spend that fortune to cancel the disadvantage.
Oh, fantastic.
Can you stack them? Like use 2 to actually get advantage?
Nope, only one.
Probably not.
Once you have advantage, it's either the only way to.
No, what I mean is, like, if you had disadvantage, could you do 1 to neutralize it and then 1 to add advantage?
No, right, because once you engage with the advantage-disadvantage mechanic, the only thing you can do once one is turned on is to counteract it. You can't surpass
Sure,
it.
got it. I figured as much, but still.
17.
17 is a very different situation.
Better.
He calls over to you, and like in the midst, like you make your pitch, and a acid shark like jumps up and bites the air in between the two of you, and he looks down at the acid shark and looks up at you, and he says, "Are you promising me that we will seek revenge on these terrible pirates that have put me in this boat?"
As long as the time limit is before either of our deaths, absolutely.
Fine. He turns around and pats the ship, and you were a good ship. Sorry, and hops onto the gangplank and makes his way over. As soon as he's aboard, he kind of sits and pouts.
Was this the turtle or the dog?
The dog.
Okay.
The turtle was like, "Yeah, I'm out."
Peace. We old and wise. We know.
Right. So you're able to collect them all. Do you want to try to salvage anything from this ship before it sinks?
Can we make some sort of check to see if that's worth it in our estimation? Because if it's pretty messed up, that's not like
Sure.
I vote no, but like if there's something there.
Are one of you the quartermaster?
I am.
That was Liam's job, right? So Liam, why don't you go ahead and well, Liam, you are hiding in the basement. So once you
Can I go down and talk to Liam and just say, "Hey, we might need you up here."
Absolutely, that's fine. What would Liam respond to that with?
Well, it feels good to be needed, so probably would very slowly rise up from the hiding spot and go like, "Yes, well, of course you do." Tail bristled, completely giving away how they're actually feeling, but yeah, would come out a little bit stiff and stilted, but you know, I'm important, I'm needed, so of course this is how you get Liam out.
There you go.
As you step up onto the deck, you look over at this ship that is now about a foot lower than it was when you arrived. Definitely sinking fairly rapidly. As the quartermaster, I'll let you go ahead and make a survive or it'd probably be survive roll. If you don't have survive, it would be wisdom. Just as you're doing sort of like a first initial eyeballing assessment of the of what's visible on top of the other ship's dock or other ship's deck. Ooh.
13.
Excellent. You can certainly spot there are water rations, supplies that would be sufficient to increase your seaworthiness by 10. If you take the time, if you can get back over to the ship, take the time, couple rounds to collect them, and then make your way back. I'm sorry, go ahead.
How fast is the ship going down?
You figure at the rate that it's sinking, you've got maybe 45 minutes before it
Okay,
is
so you've got
completely
time.
gone. That is correct.
Do we anticipate complications from our shark buddies?
Only if you have a hard time getting across to the other ship, which will become a bit of a challenge. It's going to require a traverse check to get over there safely.
I've got that skill.
Because
Don't.
even though you have like gangplanks on it and ropes going across them and whatnot, it's literally dropping like as you're and it's not just like smoothly descending. It's a rocky ride.
Okay.
Now I have balance. Does that count?
I'd let you make a balance check, sure.
Okay.
The way it would effectively work is traverse would be the check you'd make if you're using the gangplank. Balance would be the check you'd make if you're using the ropes.
Haha. Pirate swing.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a
Nice.
balance check, please.
Okay. Plus dexterity. Plus proficiency. That'll be a 19.
Excellent. You jump up and grab one of the extra pieces of rigging, slice it, and just like its own weight, sort of, and its own tension, flings you onto the deck of the opposing ship.
Nice.
How about, is Liam actually going to go over to the ship or just sort of call out, like, you should grab that?
I think that he wouldn't really want to put himself at risk. He was a bit spooked earlier and he had a minor crisis of faith. So he probably would just look at that and go like, see his like crewmates very elegantly just handle things, and it's just like I could probably just leave it to them and just like shout things, trying to appear important without putting in too much effort.
That is perfect for Liam, and that will also grant a piece of fortune, which you may put in the bowl, or you can just put in your own fortune pile. Where would you like it to go?
Oh,
We have a lot in. We have a lot in the main bowl. If you want to keep that, no one's going to be offended.
No.
Yeah, it was the like every other one for me, one for the team.
Exactly.
I don't really remember. So since I don't remember, it sounds like it would go to one for him.
One for me, one for the team, one for me. What was the last one? I guess it's one for me.
Probably for me. I love Liam.
My audio cut out because somebody's trying to call me on Signal. I missed a little bit. I'm back now.
Flashback.
I think everybody else is doing stuff. I don't know if you gave
Liam
marching
was
orders
just
to-
deciding to stay.
Okay.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you planning on moving to the other boat, and by what means?
Well, I've got the traverse skill, so probably the gangplank.
All right. Go ahead and give me just a traverse roll, please.
Yep. Nat 1. Plus
Really?
a boatload of modifiers. Plus a boatload of
Fortune.
modifiers.
Use a use fortune.
Yes.
Use
Yes. Thank you, Krista, for reminding me. that
Please
we
God,
do-
use fortune.
Yeah.
we got so many in the fortune bowl. Like, oh,
There
Okay, here we go.
There are rolls that you can live with a natural one after. This might
Yeah.
not be one.
yeah. Over the acid sharks. Like, I wonder if they'll be my friends. Yeah. Okay, much better. Another dirty 21.
Excellent. You hop up and like just
21.
run, like if you imagine
I'm moonwalking. Style.
like if you imagine Chun and Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins, like you just run harmlessly across as if you were running across the surface of water.
Okay.
And you make your way safely. Is Dr. Bones going to board the ship or remain aboard?
Absolutely, there could be help that needs to be delivered and given out, and basically he's going to go over and just do whatever Oz is like barking. He knows. Oz knows.
Excellent. And what's your method of egress for getting to the ship?
Ooh, do we have a plank set up or something
Yep.
that he could easily walk
Mhm.
across?
There-
That.
So that would be a
So,
traverse
like-
check.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's dexterity based, right?
Yes.
That's an 18. With plus dex is a 19, I think.
Not bad. You
Let me double
dance.
check that.
You dance across the gangplanks. Even if it was a -1, you'd be fine.
That is an 18. Yes.
So yeah, you dance across the gangplanks fairly easily. Right now they're relatively stable, but even as you get to the other side of them, you can see them starting to have a little bit more wiggle as the angle of the gangplank starts to increase. You know you're on a bit of a clock. I would like you could use notice if you would like to rely on any of your sensory acuity, such as sniffing around to gather an advantage, you may do so.
All right, he will sniff around using notice, I think.
Yeah, and you may all make that
that
check
is-
if you like.
I've got a note. I got the
24.
notice as a skill. So
Excellent.
May I use survival?
Sure, absolutely, because you're looking for things that are specific types of needs. So go ahead and make that survival check.
Oh, great.
it's 13
Okay.
for my notice check.
Minus survival's wisdom, yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful. -1.
So it's notice to that end, right? Just to double
Yes,
down,
correct.
just to verify. Yeah.
11 for Oz.
All right, so Oz, you definitely notice barrels of fresh water, barrels of rum,
We like those. We like those even
some
better.
a couple of boxes of like dried rations, a bunch of food stuffs, easy stuff to hop over. You start bringing it up to the top to get it ready to move back across. With your roll of a 13, you find the captain's logs, some of the crew logs, and a box that appears to be personal effects of the captain.
Okay.
So Brisby, that's what.
Wait,
you,
was that me? I rolled a 14.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
what Brisby finds. Yes.
Okay.
And
And 14 doesn't
14.
make any difference between a 13.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But with a 19, though, Dr. Bones comes to the.
It's a 24. 24
24.
with
Okay, excellent.
with my bonuses.
So not only do you notice sort of the state of the ship, it becomes very apparent to you that this ship was never armed. This ship was built to be a dart. It is meant to be fast. It was clearly meant for this race, or for our race. And they have no weapons aboard this ship. You have no. You don't even find any evidence of gunpowder, so it seems like even no one was carrying a personal firearm on this ship.
Interesting. So there's basically nothing here.
Yeah, aside from the supplies you can salvage in terms of like food and water. Yeah, this was loaded out and built entirely for getting from A to B as quickly as possible without drawing any attention to oneself. And under the pretense, your guess is, as you look at the way the sales structure is on this, as you look at the fact that there is some sort of propellant control, but you're fairly certain that propellant is under the acid sea in a place where you're not going to easily be able to get to and remove it. Looks like it's 100% just built for speed. It's got a nice hull on it. Like you can tell that it took a beating. As you count through, you can tell this thing got hit by, looks like probably about 6 cannons, and then also looks to have been hit by at least 1 staff of needles, which is a masterwork that basically just shoots dozens of needles. It's like a flechette going into your hull.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not pleasant.
Yeah.
There's not much here. We should probably just get going then.
Excellent. You start to load everything back up. Now, as you are trying to make these checks whilst carrying supplies, I would like you to all make your respective balance or traverse checks at disadvantage.
Let's say we borrow one from the fortune bowl.
Should
for
we
this.
each borrow one?
You each can.
Yeah.
That will leave you with a 7.
Yeah.
I think we're still doing
I'll
pretty
just
good.
think of
Let's
quippy
do
things
it.
to say.
Okay, that is a 9. Can I borrow one more from the fortune bowl?
You can drain the fortune bowl as far as I'm concerned, as long as everybody else is okay with it.
Okay, second one's a 16.
Excellent.
And so So you were going to ask us to do disadvantage, right? And then the fortune bolt at least neutralizes it if you don't.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So okay, we can't use the second. Okay.
Let's turn.
Mine's a 25.
Excellent.
Holy crap.
So you're good to go.
24.
I have the most dexterous turtle.
So you all deftly make it across, though Dr. Bones almost loses footing, and Oz sort of scoops him up and puts him back on the gangplank.
Very, very romancing the stone.
Right, exactly.
Oh.
The second that you set foot on your ship, the gangplank falls into the water.
It's a close one there.
Very close. Thank you for the save.
Do we have a backup?
That loss of a gangplank will cost your ship 2 seaworthiness. However, you have gained 10 seaworthiness as a result of these supplies. So you're actually.
Can that go above and beyond?
So you're going up to eight above your seaworthiness right now.
You can, apparently.
Very cool.
We are so seaworthy right now.
So seaworthy.
Once that is all said and done, are you going to I guess what's your next course of action? Do you intend to fully sink the ship or just let it sink of its own accord?
Probably let it sink.
Yeah.
Were you folks running this year race?
The turtle nods. The captain is insensate with grief right now. He's just kind of curled in a ball, letting out like got like a paw over the top of his eyes.
Oh my God, precious boy.
The turtle says,
Get some tea.
yes, we had just refitted. In fact, at my suggestion, we removed all arms from the ship in the hopes of gaining a little extra speed.
Well, I'm sure that was a valiant suggestion. Had you not come across these awful brigands, I'm quite sure you would have done quite well. Your ship was in very good condition.
I wouldn't take it too hard. If you had come up against them, even with full gun contingent, you probably would have just been cut to ribbons.
Well, that's a positive outlook you've got there. I hope you have more confidence in your ship should we run afoul of them.
Against the green plague, good luck. And in fact, very good luck. I hope we have very good luck.
We also do move quite quickly. We do have the aid of a masterwork that has allowed us to move a little quicker than normal. Speaking of which, should we be on our way again?
I wouldn't recommend waiting around too long.
Yeah. So just out of curiosity, why would we sink the ship more quickly than it's doing of its own accord?
Because it's common.
Because we're dicks.
No, because it's common etiquette. You don't. If a ship's unsalvageable, you blast it to the sea.
So that no one else risks their life on it.
Right. So no one else risks their life on it, and so that you're not giving your ship away to salvage, it's better to give it away to the sea. Is kind of the
Got it.
the mindset of it. But it's much more of like a moray than like there's a tactical advantage to doing it.
Yeah, the moon
Well,
is.
it looks like you said it was going to be down in about 45 minutes. It probably took us about 20 or 30 to get the stuff. I'd say we're good.
If the captain isn't insisting we do it, I'd say let's get going.
He is just far too busy.
Yeah. Oh. Poor little bean.
He kind of like looks up and like scratches at the safety railing of your ship as he watches his boat sink into the acid sea as you pull away. Are you kicking it back up to full speed ahead?
Yes, please.
Glorious. Let's get that D20 roll from our captain, and let's see where we go from there.
A 3.
3? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Glorious.
What?
Let's get our seaworthiness resistance from our first mates.
An 8. An 8. That's better.
Excellent. You do not lose any seaworthiness. Again, you get 2 days. So now you have sort of cut through a good chunk of the people who are in the race. You've sort of taken the lead at this point.
Can we see them? Probably not, right?
Well, the route you've taken, you were trying to avoid contact directly with as many ships as possible. Sure. So your sailing master can see them from the crow's nest with a spyglass.
Okay.
Which means they
will probably climb up to look.
They can probably see us then. Too.
Right. They probably can see you, but you're like, it's like you are zipping past them. Like when you have an interaction, you're like, holy crap, we're really moving along at a good clip.
Zoom.
Bye.
The skeletons are water skiing behind.
And as you're moving along, the seas are relatively calm. And you find yourself lost in the admiration of the acid sea's weird beauty. For every frothy wave and eddy, a ripple of rainbow colors swirls across the sea's surface. Its chemical mixture is as hypnotic as its corrosive heart is repellent. You realize you've been staring at the water for a long time, maybe a little too long, as if something seeks to transfix you. I would like each of you to make a wisdom check, please.
Oh no! Oh, that's not good.
Forgive me, there should be a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, that's better.
It's still not good.
Okay.
17.
15.
Oh no.
That's a 2 minus 1.
Beautiful.
Fortune.
Yeah, I should probably use a fortune on that.
Go ahead.
Nat 20.
Beautiful. And what did Liam get on this roll?
I could use a reminder on how to use the saving throws again.
So you should have a list of saving throws on your sheet next to your traits.
Yeah.
If you have wisdom marked, it just means that you add your proficiency bonus to your wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
If you don't, you don't.
Cool. 30.
Excellent. So you're all... Would you like to spend a point of fortune from your pile or from the bowl to re-roll that?
You're making me want to.
I'm just giving you the
Is that
option
your
before I
final
tell you
answer?
the result of this roll. That's all.
Boy.
Oh, is 13 bad? Is it not in, is it? Oh, God. Oh, no. Maybe. I feel a bit cheeky. I'll just use the one that I just got.
Excellent.
Why are you making me worried like this? Goodness, this emotional manipulation.
Emotional damage.
Oh, I got a nat 20. So, okay, I'm fine being manipulated.
Excellent.
It worked out.
So here's how this goes. As you are sort of all gathering by the edge to look at this swirl of color that's floating in the acid sea and all becoming somewhat transfixed by it, you see Liam like put a leg up onto the railing and then stop himself. Like, what? like you felt for a second so entranced by this that you wanted to be a part of it. And as you pull your leg back down from the railing and step away from that railing, you notice that it seems to respond to your lack of willingness to join it, as this swirl of color that was until now just sort of hanging out on the surface begins creaking and cracking and bubbling. Thin, spiny tendrils crackling with energy snake their way up the sides of the ship. They must number at least 20, looping around railings and snaking around cargo, attempting to grip an unlucky ankle. I would like an initiative roll, please.
There we go. 8.
Allow me to break out my recently arrived have never been opened Monarchies of Maladice that came along with my Squeaks in the Deep
Ooh.
Kickstarter.
Heck yeah.
So,
19 for me.
beautiful.
A 15.
14.
I beat you.
Right now, 19 is the number to beat, right?
Yes.
I don't believe they do so, but let me double triple. Yep, so they go on a 17. So the first initiative goes to your side. The highest was a 20, is that correct? 19?
19.
All right, so Oz, would you like to take the action or would you like to pass along to someone else?
I believe I have a fun weapon that I would like to use. So if I may,
Yes, you may.
I would like to pull out the humming stick that we got.
Okay.
Because I think I got that. I have it on my sheet, so I'm going to assume
You do.
that was
We all
what I
do.
took. We all got them. Okay, good. Pull that out, and like a flash is all of a sudden next to Liam and attacking this thing coming for him.
You're going to give a smack to the tendril?
Yes, please.
All right, go ahead and make that attack check, please.
That'll be a 21.
Beautiful. That absolutely hits.
Now, I have a note that it does 1d4 lightning. Does it do physical damage as well?
No, the stick itself is a wand that just discharges electrical energy. If you would imagine a brief description of this thing, is it is a masterwork and very rare and costly, is you have like a plastic handle that seems to have a grip that was designed for two paws, but can be used with one. Coming out of that is just a straight black plastic tube, and at the end of it is this ball of
Also,
energy
static cling, essentially.
that when tapped against someone, that is what deals the shock.
Got it. Okay.
You're carrying a shock baton. So
So just a d4 of lightning. I love it. It's perfect.
Everyone with fur, the fur kind of stands up a little bit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is only 1 damage.
all right, that is better than no damage.
True.
So you hit it, and the lightning dances along the tendril. And you seem to have drawn its attention. Who would you like to give the next action to?
Oh, right. That's how this works. I suppose if he's closest, sorry, go ahead.
One thing, just you notice when you hit him with that lightning, like the tendril like pull back. Like it didn't like that.
Yes, good. I was hoping it wouldn't. I would like to give it to Liam because I'm sure Liam would like to back off to properly cast spells. So I'd like to get him out of the way.
Excellent. Liam, what would you like to do?
I would like to do that. But I'm also wondering if it is possible to try to like identify a bit more what this thing is.
Sure. I'll let you go ahead and make a no arcana or survival, whichever you prefer.
Yeah.
Or no,
I have
no nature if you have that would work too.
I have a no arcana.
Excellent. Go for it.
So I got an 18.
Beautiful. You identify this creature as a colossal hydrozoa. Their attacks include a tendril lash, which one of you is about to witness, or more. Because they can attack with any tendril that they have in range. You're aware that they are colossal in size. They can emit a song imperceptible to all but the most attuned ear, which hypnotizes and draws creatures towards their mulching maw. The song affects anyone within 150 feet of its origin and requires a wisdom save at DC 14 to resist. If successfully resisted, this has no effect for the rest of the day. So the good news is you're all immune to its hypnotic song for the rest of the day. You are aware, however, that it does have an ability to focus that song on someone even who has resisted it to impart a compulsion. And lastly, you're aware that the spines on this thing, the tendrils, are filled with paralytic, painful poison. If struck by a tendril, the victim must make a Constitution saving throw at difficulty 14 or gain the paralyzed or confused condition at the guide's choice. Each subsequent turn, they may make another saving throw with the difficulty increasing by 1 as the poison courses through their system. If they succeed, the poison ends. If they fail, they continue to be poisoned until the end of the scene. Make sense?
Cool.
So you now know all that information and can share it freely with the group, but that will basically eat up your turn. So who would you like to go next?
Let's see. I'm thinking Brisbane, maybe?
All right.
So I could use the hum stick as well, since I noticed the lightningy things, but since I am the gun boy, can I use the ship's armaments against the proto hydro monstro gigando arama?
So refresh my memory. You're carrying a cannon and a trebuchet?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
That
right?
sounds correct.
Right, Captain?
So
Yes.
the cannon you can shoot, you'd be at disadvantage because you're shooting at point blank range at something that's below the ship. That's not right. So you're like
some bad news, guys.
right. You're like tipping the cannon down the side, like hope I got this right.
Wait, what am I crazy?
Right. The trebuchet, it's just too close to hit.
Yeah. The cannon will probably do more damage than my little lightning rod, right?
Fair to say.
Fair to say. Anybody mind if I take one from the pool so I'm not rolling at disadvantage here?
Go for it.
Thank
Go
you.
for it.
Excellent.
What is my roll for the cannon? Like what? I mean, obviously a
So
D20.
It's a ranged attack. And if you are in the gunner's station, that is your job.
Yeah.
You're automatically considered to be proficient with it if you're in that station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus, I have a dexterity
Instructions.
proficiency. Well, no, that's for saving throws. Where's my stuff?
Oh, gunners gain advantage.
Okay, so does that neutralize the disadvantage?
Yes, so it would be normal.
Okay.
So you,
So if
you
I-
don't need to use the fortune?
So you
I don't
use-
need to, but if I did use it, could it be an advantage again, or is that
What I would let you do is you can't spend the fortune to give you advantage now, but you can spend a fortune after to re-roll.
if it
you
botch
fail.
goes? Stephen botch goes. All right, I'm a
Even
little
better.
okay. All right, so I get to obviously add my dexterity modifier.
And then
I'm proficient, so I get to add my proficiency bonus as well in this case.
correct, and you have advantage on the shot.
Well, I don't. I have
Right. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Correct.
We
I feel
figured
good
it out.
about this, guys. I feel good about this. Get to add 8 to whatever I roll.
Do it.
Hubris much? Okay.
I believe in
Oh.
you.
It's
Nat 20?
20.
Nice.
First cannon shot, and it's a nat 20. Hells yes.
Oh,
The good news.
My job.
I have good news and I have bad news for all of you.
Uh-oh.
The good news is you've shot and you're about to deal a whole bunch of damage. Do you have the damage rating of that cannon written down?
I do not,
Oh,
sir.
it's in my notebook.
That would be a real handy thing to have,
That's
wouldn't it?
fine. It's a regular. It's just a standard 6-pounder. Is that what you had?
Yes.
I guess. I don't even.
I got you.
Catapult. 6-pounder.
So long
3d10.
Excellent.
Okay.
And you double the dice, so you may roll 6d10 and see what you got.
Okay.
There's no downside to this. There's no
Well,
downside.
Be.
I'm waiting. He's not told us the bad news yet. So I'm just going to blithely roll ahead. Okay. Well, roll it out. Plus 4. Let's roll that again. How about 5, 7, 10. I think I got one more, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. 29, all said and done.
Nice.
Excellent. So you blast a cannonball right down toward this creature. You said 29 was your total?
Mm-hmm.
It does disperse. The cannonball goes into the water, and you can see that you've clearly pierced like a
main
film
aorta?
almost, right?
Okay.
If you imagine like what a puddle of discarded oil on top of
Sure.
the sea would look like, and then you dropped a cannonball into it. So there's these thick ripples that are sort of moving through.
But it splashes us. Is that the bad news?
No, the bad news is not that it splashes us. The bad news is that you have a ship gunner and you have a gun dog, and everybody else has to contend with gunpowder panic.
Oh no.
You never told me anything about that.
You're a gunner. You don't have to worry about it. Neither does the gun. Neither does the
Yeah, I
gun
care
dog.
about my crew though.
Aw.
The good news
You were
is
worried.
that you will eventually grow used to gunpowder panic.
There you go.
Anyone susceptible to gunpowder panic who is within hearing range of a gun being fired must make a charisma saving throw at difficulty 15. So that would be
Charisma?
Yep. So that
I
would,
guess it's like, how cool are you?
right. Can I keep my shit together with this loud bang?
Yeah.
So that would be for Liam and Dr. Bones.
So thankfully, charisma saves are one of the things I'm actually good at. So that's a 15.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. You do not suffer gunpowder panic.
Like, what the? Hey,
So
what a fella!
I got a 20, but it's not natural.
That's fine. You're good. And I stand corrected. I believe there's something in
It's
the
worse.
I believe there's something in the gun dog that gives you immunity to gunpowder panic, correct?
Yes, I'm immune.
That doesn't actually, you don't get that for being the ship's gunner, so I need you to make a charisma save, please.
I was about to say, I was looking through it. I was like, I don't think the gunner is immune.
But I gotta make a charisma save as well.
You scared yourself.
Good news is, not only am I speedy, but I'm also charming. So,
Well, that'll come in handy.
all right. 16.
Okay. You do not suffer gunpowder panic either. So, am I correct in that everybody made their save?
I think so. Yeah.
Beautiful.
This time.
This time, this bang goes off, and you have, with the exception of Oz, you've never heard anything like this in your life.
We all do have very strong hearing, don't we?
it's
So
been-
it's probably a bummer.
It's like 1,000 dogs barking all at once right next to your ear. You manage to not become deafened or frightened by this discharge, but it is a reminder of the amount of power you are throwing around.
Okay.
And dishearteningly, as you settle from this being startled, you look down and see the sort of filmy mess close over where you shot the cannonball in. Now, the good news there is that you did, in fact, do damage to it, but you have discovered that this has got resistance to blunt damage. So you dealt half of your damage to it. So
Okay.
That'll be 15. So, who would you like to give your initiative to? Just a reminder: if you give it to, if you do go directly to Dr. Bones, then this creature will get 2 attack.
Boy.
Give it to the creature.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
I'm not worth it.
I have a love-hate with that rule. I mean, it makes sense. It's strategic, or
Cool.
as far as mechanics go, it's awesome. But usually I'm like, fuck this. But okay. All right, creature,
Excellent.
do your worst.
You hand the initiative over to
Oh
the
no,
monster.
the opposite.
You hand the initiative over to the
I was trying
monster
to
as
jinx it.
a tendril for each of you makes its way up onto the deck, but that's where we're going to go ahead and take a 5 for biological and technological breaks.
No.
So, any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns before we do that?
No, I just want to bring up another ancient movie, the Raft in Creepshow 2. Which is kind of what we're dealing with, I think.
It's one of my favorite moments in all of cinema when he makes it to the shore and he's like, "I did it, I beat you," and the thing just eats him.
Yeah. So like Creepshow 2 itself was kind of bad, but the Raft might be the best in the first 2 movies, I think, in a way.
All right.
So
Hold tight.
scared
We'll
the
be back
crap out of me as a kid.
momentarily as we are stepping away for biological and technological needs. If you have any questions in the
Sometimes
chat,
the same
feel free
thing.
to fire them away. And we'll be back
If you're
momentarily.
an android.
If you're an android.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Realms of Pugmire, playing Fetch Session 4. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, they were in the midst of a scrap. And that scrap is ongoing. So I'm going to hydrate as one of our lovely viewers suggested we do so. Then we get right back to the fight. So now we have come to the conclusion, if I'm not mistaken, where it is the creature's turn, correct?
Yeah.
No, the creature already went and missed every attack during the break.
We won everything. And we're all level like 50, and yeah.
I see.
It's very enjoyable. For
Nice
the
game,
audience
everybody.
To watch. Yeah, good game. We won.
We're going through in God mode now.
So the first thing that the creature is going to do is it's going to unleash a tendril lash at your ship.
Not to be confused with a tender lash, which is what a carrying BDSM practitioner will do for you.
That's valid.
So kind.
What is your ship's hull?
What is it? You mean our?
It's the part of the ship that protects us from the land, but that's not. Or the water, but that's not important now.
That's not important.
I had it written down in my notebook, but I'm not sure which notebook it is.
11 cajillion.
We added a bunch. I think we added is that the one that it was like 120 or is that the seaworthiness?
That's seaworthiness. Hulk starts at 14 and can go as high as 20.
I think we went because we did like half and half, right? We did.
Yeah, half guns. Well, I don't know if it. I think I too was confusing seaworthiness with hull. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
In the simplest of terms, your seaworthiness is your stamina points, and your hull is your defense.
Oh,
yes. So
we did. I think we did do. I think we did do defense on the hull then. Yeah. We did half guns and half hull, but I don't know those numbers.
Improving your ships, add artillery, improve hull, enhance seaworthiness, and increase speed. Yeah. So we added artillery and seaworthiness, but did we do anything to the?
I thought we did hull and not seaworthiness.
No, you did seaworthiness for sure because that's what's keeping you afloat.
Okay, never mind then.
Okay.
No, we only did the two, whatever they were.
We will assume that your hull is a 14 then, until we find otherwise. If we find out later that we were wrong, I'll give you something very nice.
We're not all dead.
Everybody attack! I'm gonna run and grab my.
Our hull is 20.
Your hull is 20.
According to the text file I saved.
Beautiful. Then that makes it much easier. As these various tendrils smack against the side of the hull, kind of pulling and trying to shred away the very plastic that holds you afloat, they glance harmlessly off of your
hey, knock that off!
Turtle-like ship, and they will hand the action to Dr. Bones.
I don't like this thing at all. It's bad. Sorry, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Dr. Bones will rush to the side of the ship and will cast. Guiding bolt. I think this is a guiding bolt thing.
Guiding bolt is good.
Is that electrical or is that just like magical?
It's a radiant damage,
right?
If I'm not mistaken.
So, based on what you know right now, that you don't know if that will be more effective, less effective, or of average effect, but you may attack.
That is, oh my god, I actually rolled well for a change. That's a 19 plus, I think it's like a 22 total.
And I assume you're targeting the main body because you ran over the edge, right?
Yes.
Excellent. 22 will hit on the main body. Go ahead and roll the damage for the guiding bolt.
Okay, so that is 3d6 radiant, and then the next attack has advantage.
Yep.
That is 16 points of damage.
Excellent. You
hot dog
blast a beam of light down into this, and the light sort of dances outward from the point of impact up the tendrils, effectively giving the entire creature this sort of massive glow that makes it easier to spot and therefore easier to hit. So we have
Very large.
And that was how much in total that you had done? I'm sorry.
16 radiant.
Excellent. Who would you like to pass the next action to?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna pass it to. Liam ran away, right?
I don't think Liam ran.
I think Liam just ascertained what this darn thing was.
I will pass it to Liam because I assume Liam has something big to use.
I might not have something super big to use.
I believe in you, Liam. You've got this.
I'm wondering a little bit how some of these like spells work when it's like they have casting times because
If your casting time is like one action, then you're good. You can do it as part of the turn. The only thing you need to worry about if it was like a minute or something like that.
yeah, that's the thing. It states it in minutes, so I guess I can't really use those during battle very effectively.
Is that the duration or is that the casting time?
It's just casting time. Wait, maybe I was misreading it that way. Yeah. Let's go to W.
I'm gonna say there's very few things that I can think of off the top of my head in Pugmire that have a long casting time, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
mean
Okay.
there's
So
not
I confused those two. So it has a casting time of one action, but the duration is up to 10 minutes.
Oh, beautiful. So yeah, that sounds like something workable. What would you like? What spell would you like to cast?
I wonder, will Wall of Magic hurt the ship?
Only if you run into it. Like if you ram
on
it.
us, though.
Right,
Yeah.
Right on us.
but when you throw Wall of Magic, like you can push things to one side of the wall when you cast it up.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like if you drop a magic wall, like exactly where someone's standing, you can determine what side of that wall they pop out on.
So I didn't
Would it,
really
like-
make it that far from the edge. So I was like, maybe I should just make a wall to protect myself and then run away.
I mean, you can. Well, I'll give you two options here. One is you can put a wall of magic in the water itself between the creature and the ship. That will block off one side of access for the creature, which will probably mean it's going to take some time to reach around the bottom of the ship and come up the other side. Alternate option, you put a wall of magic on the deck between you and the creature and let everybody else worry about the ship.
If you did the wall of magic right in the middle of the creature, would it lop off some of those tendrils?
It does not bisect it. No, it just pushes it in its entire to one side or the other.
God. Oh. Right. So that's how wall of magic. I'm wondering if I would try to separate the ship and the creature.
Okay, that's perfectly valid. So, wall of magic is in Mao.
Yes. 137.
Among the things that that arrived along with my copy of Squeaks in the Deep is my lovely hardcover copy of Monarchies of Mao, which I highly recommend heading over to Studio 2 Publishing or Indie Press Revolution and picking up. Or your friendly local game store. And you said that was page 1 what?
137.
Thank you. Okay, so you get to choose if this is fire, ice, stone, or invisible force when you turn it on. It can be up to 60 feet long, 20 feet high, and a foot thick. And you can create a ringed wall that's up to 20 feet in diameter, but that is not big enough to surround your ship.
Yeah.
Is it big enough to surround the creature?
Not quite. When the wall appears, each creature within its area must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, they do take damage from the chosen element, and then they're force to one side of the wall. So you can actually use this as an attack.
I'm probably thinking like invisible force.
Okay, excellent. It certainly does not have any resistance to force damage, which is fortunate. So it will need to make a dex save. See how that shakes out for it. My guess is going to be not great, but we'll see. Ooh, yeah, that's a 7. What's your spell save DC?
Where can I find that?
It should be in your
Top of the
spell
second
casting. Yeah.
page, I think.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
It should be next to your spell casting at the top of the spells sheet. You should have a spell attack modifier and a save DC. Otherwise, your spell save DC, I believe, is 8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. For you, I believe we discovered that was charisma. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then your proficiency bonus.
Oh, so that would then be 8 plus. 2. 10.
And then your proficiency as well?
Oh, and then plus 5.
So
No,
fif-
wait. Yeah.
So 15 is your save DC.
Okay, cool.
They did not make that. So you may go ahead and roll 5d8 force damage.
All right. 15. You said 5. How many Ds?
5d8. Yep.
Yeah. No. Total of 18.
Excellent. You throw up this wall of force in the center of it. Are you? I assume you're shoving it
Like a fur ball.
on the other side of the wall, correct?
I'm sorry?
Are you putting it on the other side of the wall when the effect ends, or are you going to have it come on the side that's closer to the ship?
Other end, I think.
Excellent. And then who would you like to give the next action to?
I would like to give it to, I'm thinking Oz?
Excellent. And Oz, as you see this wall of force come up and like ripple throughout the form of this colossal creature, you can see it's got tendrils that are reaching around the edges of the wall already. Like this thing is bigger than that wall. What would you like to do?
Oz?
Sorry, just trying to. I think I'm gonna hit it again with its.
Oh, sorry.
No, all good. I was like, oh shoot, I'm muted.
Of Zoom by accident. I'm like, are you frozen? Oh my god.
That does happen. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna attack it with the lightning rod again because I don't really do much damage, and if the cannon fire didn't seem to do a ton to it, I'm going to assume that my blunderbuss won't as well. So I think I'll just do the lightning because it seemed to hurt it.
Excellent. At the moment, there are no tendrils.
Oh, right. I can't actually get at it.
However, if you want to get to it, it has tendrils that are reaching all over this wall of force. And that wall of force will remain solid for up to 10 minutes or unless Liam loses concentration. So you can jump from the ship onto the side of the wall and start batting at the tentacles, standing on top of this wall of force, if you have that much faith in your crewmate.
Oh, that sounds positively Penzantian, and I am here for it.
Excellent. Give me a traverse check to make that jump. That is not balance. That is traverse.
Don't have to get that.
And that'll be off your strength because you're jumping.
Oh, strength. Okay, fantastic. Well, I rolled pretty well. Strength is +1, 18.
Yeah, you take like 2 steps back, wiggle your shell and run forward and leap directly like on top. Like you jump across and land on your feet, and like there's this bit of like lean forward, flap your arms, lean back, flap your arms, but you've got your balance. You're there, and a tendril places itself right in a nice, easy place for you to take a swing at. And I'll let you go ahead and do that because it's cool. Even though it's kind of 2 actions, it's fine.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's going to be a 15.
Excellent. That does hit the tendril completely. Go ahead and roll the damage on your beat stick.
I need another D4. 1 second. Luckily, that was those weird shaped D4s that aren't death traps.
Ah, nice.
So, but at least
Not the Lego ones.
not the Lego. Oh my God, no, not the Lego ones. 3 lightning damage.
Excellent, which becomes 6 because it is vulnerable. So
Hirachi.
Did you roll with advantage?
I did not. Was I supposed to?
Because of my guiding bolt. Because
Guiding
Right, 'cause
bolt.
you guided. Okay, I'll roll and see if I get a nat 20.
yeah, if you get one, please let me know.
No, just 12.
Okay.
All right, it was worth a shot.
Twas.
I tried.
But yeah,
I appreciate that.
and as you hit it, that lightning dances across its form, almost washing away the sparkles from the guiding bolt as the lightning dances free.
My sparkles.
Who would you like to? Who would you like to hand things off to at this point? You can.
I'll give it to the sea monster.
Okay. The sea monster is going to take this action to withdraw itself. You may make an opportunity attack on that tendril if you like.
Exciting. 18.
That absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Did you roll with advantage?
Wouldn't be on this one.
Yeah, it's just the first one, unfortunately.
It's only one attack, yeah. So,
Oh, okay.
I wish.
2 lightning.
all right. So that becomes 4, and that pushes us to. I'm doing that wrong. No, all right. Yeah, I'm doing it right. All right. All right.
Nice.
So as you crack it as it's pulling away, you can see it's starting to sink down deeper into the sea. You're not 100% sure what it plans to do, but was that which one of you identified this creature? Remind me.
That was Liam.
Was that Liam?
Liam.
Yeah.
Liam, I will let you know this as it sinks down out of view. The bright side of that wall of force is it's basically transparent, so you can kind of see what's going on the other side of it. You're aware that this thing can move about 40, 50 feet a turn when it's underwater. It becomes very clear to you as you run the quick math in your head with the bellows. If the captain can get back on this ship right now, you might be able to outrun this problem before it becomes a problem again. So you're welcome to share that information verbally with everyone else, but it's something that you are aware of. As the creature seems to be taking this turn to move under the boat.
Yeah. I would probably share that, but I'm also wondering, will that break the concentration of keeping the wall up?
The only thing that's going to break the concentration of you keeping that wall up is casting another spell that requires concentration.
Okay, cool. I was worried of going like, oh shit, come back! And then just like,
Come back,
"Whoa!"
sploosh.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so if this, yeah, I will verbally share that info.
All right, and it will grant the action proper to who hasn't yet gone this phase. That would be just be Brisbane. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, neither of you have?
Brisbane the dock.
I was the last one last term.
Yeah,
Right.
Last turn.
I think the critter will give the action to Brisbane because the dock hit it with a guiding bolt, and it didn't like that very much. So
Okay.
Brisbane, it is your action. What would you like to do?
Okay, so is it still illuminated because of Doc's spell?
It has its own natural luminescence, and it is still dancing with electricity. So you can see it. You're just not going to gain any advantage from it.
Okay.
It's not invisible. And that wall of force is basically clear. So as near as, like, you can see the outline of where the wall of force is, like a shimmer, almost like a mirage. But like, imagine a turtle in full-on pirate garb standing above sea level 40 feet. You know, that's kind of what you're seeing right now. So that's, and then you see this sort of technicolor ooze moving under the wall and under the ship.
Okay. So I can't really do anything that's hand to hand at this point, right? I mean, it's pretty far away.
Not without diving into the water.
Pass. And I won't get to double roll my damage on the cannon, will I?
No, it's actually resistant to the damage the cannon deals.
Yeah, but it still was half damage, though.
Right, yeah, it'll do half damage.
Okay, but do I get to double roll again? Probably not. Or why did I get to double roll last time? Because I was proficient?
No, because you had... it ultimately became just a regular roll because you had the advantage for being the ship's gunner, but you had the disadvantage because you were trying to shoot the bottom of the ship, like at the bottom of the ship.
Why did I get to roll double damage then? Or
You rolled in
60,
at 20.
You're rolling that 20.
You got a crit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm half tempted to use the cannon again, even though it doesn't do full damage and might cause panic. That's about the only thing I can do as far as offense goes.
It's worth a shot.
Can you rub the cannonball really quickly to get some static electricity?
Yeah, I rub my fur on it. I'm like, and my downtime, I'm like,
All right. Go ahead and make that attack check, please.
okay. Sorry about the panic. Well, I rolled a 17 plus my proficiency bonus plus my dexterity. So, yeah.
Oh, that'll hit.
Yeah, so like 24, pretty much, I think. Yeah.
All right. So let's get... Okay, let's give you all another gunpowder panic save, but you are all going to have advantage because now it has been fired off once.
Well, that is a 12.
Is that with advantage?
That is with advantage. Without, it's 10.
Excellent.
That's charisma, right?
It is charisma.
Yeah.
30-22.
Beautiful. Brisby is fine. The doctor suffers gunpowder panic and is considered deaf and scared until you are able to make a subsequent saving throw. You can attempt every turn to pull your shit together and no longer be deaf and scared.
Whoa.
What about for Liam?
I got a 16 with the proficiency.
Okay, then you're good to go. You are fine. No gunpowder panic. And the gun dog doesn't have to worry about it. And what did you get on yours, Brisby?
Oh, what?
So
I rolled a 19. It was a van. I rolled a 19 and a 2. We're going to ignore the 2 part. 19, 20, 21, 22.
All right. Yep. So the only person who's panicking at the moment is Dr. Bones. But I would assume that your only valid person to give an action to is Dr. Bones.
I haven't rolled my damage yet, bro.
Roll your damage. That's fine. I'm just covering what's going on.
9.
All right. So
6. 10. 9, 6, and 10. I'm not doing math.
25. Cut in half. That's 13. Excellent. As you are scared, good doctor. Just looking at
So-
conditions real quick.
Is it pretty much the same as frightened?
Largely the same as frightened. I'm just making sure there's nothing funny about it. 97 and 99. When you are deaf, you cannot hear and automatically fail any ability check that requires hearing. When you are scared, you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of the fear is in sight. You can't willingly move closer to the source of fear.
Okay. So
Incidentally, that is a little different because it's not just against that creature. It's against anything while that creature's in sight.
It'd be a good opportunity for a siren to try to lure you. You're like,
Right.
I ain't having none of that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I can't move close to it. It has kind of retreated, right?
It seems to be moving under the boat.
Okay, can I see it at all?
Yeah, you can certainly see tendrils that are still sweeping below.
Yeah. One sec, just checking one thing. Okay, so in this case, he's just going to blindly cast Sacred Flame on it,
Excellent.
which is not an attack roll, it is a saving throw, if
Yep.
I'm not mistaken.
It needs to make a dex save. Fortunately for it,
Con save.
con
Probably
save.
better for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 19 on the die, so I'm assuming that
Well,
its
that's not
constitution
enough.
is.
That's not.
What's your save DC?
Okay, fine. He succeeded.
Yeah, very good. Oh yeah, I did a +4 con too. So the sacred flame sparkles under the water, but does very little to do. Now, who would you like to give the initiative to?
I'm going to give it back to Brisby.
Excellent, Brisby. What would you like to do?
I can still cannonball Adderley this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can see him well enough and stuff.
Yep.
That is what I shall do.
This is going to be aimed strictly at tendrils at this point, though, because the rest of them is now under the ship. It's fine.
Crap.
Your tendrils will still do
Okay.
damage.
Okay.
And in fact, easier to hit.
Okay. Oh, like you have a different AC for tendrils versus main body and stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
The main body has a different AC.
Okay.
Just because the main body is more dense. It's nothing to do with like quickness. It's just the main body's thicker.
Sure.
and
Gotcha.
harder.
Gotcha.
She thick.
13 plus efficiency. Wash my rock starter. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
22.
That absolutely hits. Go ahead and drop the damage. And everyone go ahead and make a gunpowder panic save again.
With advantage, though, right? Because
With advantage, yes.
How long before that wears off entirely?
Do
Or
I
does
have
it?
to make the save because I can't hear it?
Yeah, you're deaf, so you're immune
So
to
I'm still
further.
panicking, but I'm not.
But
double
you
panicking.
can't. But you can make the save to overcome your gunpowder panic.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh. And
10.
Nope. Yeah, it does not instill new gunpowder panic because gunpowder panic lasts until the end of the scene unless you overcome.
I'm assuming that we don't have advantage this time as well, or do we?
Because the official ruling, and I didn't give you advantage the first time because it was literally the first time you witnessed a gun go off. But the official ruling is as long as you have a gun dog in your crew, everybody gets advantage on these.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
you grow used to gunshots eventually.
Is a 14 okay then?
A 14 is exactly, I think, what you need to break gunpowder panic.
Okay, cool. Because then I got it on the second time, or with the advantage.
I got 20 for damage, by the way. And
I
a
apologize.
20
It's a
versus
50.
my.
Beautiful.
Go on.
I was just saying, I apologize. It's a 15 to break gunpowder panic. And you got a what on your what now?
I got 20 damage and 20 plus modifiers versus the. And I didn't even roll advantage. I just got a 20.
Excellent.
I can't imagine I'm going to do better.
Probably not. Yeah.
I got one of them 22-sided dice.
Alrighty. And that then did Liam.
Oh, hey, since I rolled in that 20, is there any way any of that kind of maybe helps out a friend or any kind of crazy? Like,
no, it just means that you're not going to be affected by gunpowder panic for the rest of the scene.
Okay.
No matter how many guns get fired, like you're straight. You're cool.
That's probably not what you should have told me.
You're a temporary and honorary gun dog. What did Liam get on the gunpowder panic save?
17.
Okay, so Liam is fine. Dr. Bones is still yiping and yipping, but keeping the fight up. Who would you like to give the action to then, Brisby?
So really 10 points didn't sink this guy?
No, not at all. Not even close.
Oh, man. Who would I like to give the action to? So Bones just went, and it looks like it's Creature and Cap and Liam are the remaining folk, right?
That is correct.
Oh boy!
Technically, this is a new round, isn't it? As well.
Not really. So like
okay.
The way that the rounds function is kind of once everyone has gone, that is the completion of a round.
Okay. Well, because that I thought that was Doc.
Right, but then Doc gave it to Brisbane.
Yeah.
Starts a new round.
I essentially went, I think, right before Doc, and then but he was the last, so he made me first. I'm half tempted to give it to the Creature just so it doesn't get to double mollywop us. I think.
You do have
down the road.
Wait, you have two options.
Give it to the captain so captain can try to get the heck out of here.
I want to get back on the boat. Yeah.
All right.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
Sure, and then we can try to boogie.
And you can certainly shout an order to, get her going as you leap. Like that's not going to require
Captain, get back here quickly. Relatively speaking, of course.
Let's get a move on out of this guy and do like a double backflip and like land in like a superhero pose and then stand and kind of wobble towards them.
Excellent. Give me a strength traverse, please.
Okay. Oh, it's a 9 from the Russian judge, but 10's across the board. No, that's going to be a strength, right? So, oh God, where's my sheet? That'll be 16.
Easily. You backflip right back onto the deck in midair, like start her up. So the ship starts taking off quickly with the benefit of the bellows. Liam, you do have an opportunity to take a parting shot at this creature as you see its form emerge from beneath the ship itself. It is still clearly in pursuit of you, but you are already, due to the bellows, pacing it in such a fashion you don't think it's got a chance of catching you. What would you like to do?
I feel like I don't really have anything to hit it with other than the wall.
I mean, if you have the sufficient spell slots, you could drop another wall on it if you wanted to. That wall would disappear, but it doesn't matter because it's not doing anything anymore anyway.
I haven't really invested in the wall. It's one of my new spells, unfortunately.
Well, no, but what level is that spell?
It's level, I think it was level 4.
And how many slots in total do you have?
Unfortunately, I have not really written that down since the level ups.
Gotcha. Because as a spellcaster, your spellcasting trick gives you a certain number of slots per level, and then you also can take refinements to get to get additional spell slots.
Yeah.
Let's see, because if you have more than 8, you could always cast it again. And you're at what level?
My character sheet, I have written level 5, but I'm not sure I have done the additional levels.
You should be at level right. You got 1 advance, so you should be at level 5. Your spellcasting trick is which one are you using for spellcasting? I apologize. You're a minister?
Minister, so it's cards.
Given the voice. Half a second while I flip through. I apologize.
I've got Man the Cannon stuck in my head right now because of this game, and it won't go away.
Nice.
I guess Rat the Cannons, but still.
All right, yeah, so you gain 2 additional spell slots plus your Constitution modifier each time you level. So, starting at level 1, you would have 2 plus your Constitution modifier in spell slots.
Mm.
And then you would gain that many each time you level.
Constitution's marked as +2. So proficiency +2.
Yeah, so 4 slots a level. So you have 20 spell slots.
Oh, well, I think I'm sorry.
Nothing to apologize. I would laugh that way if I found that out too. Do you want to drop another wall on him?
Yeah, I'm just gonna use one of those. 19 remaining.
Excellent. Well, remember when you spend a level 4 spell, you spend 4 slots to cast it. So you have 16 slots left before
It's pronounced stats.
Nice. And it does not make it save against your wall.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll that 5d8 damage, please.
And that. Oh. So a total of 23.
Excellent. And it is not resistant to that, so the
Liam goes down to the vault of arcane media we've all been experiencing, grabs an obscure one from a group known as Pink Floyd, and throws it at the sea monster.
Exactly. The wall drops in the middle of the sea monster, and the sea monster clearly is abandoning its pursuit as you speed away across the acid sea. Congratulations, you've defeated your first sea monster.
Ah! First.
We successfully run away.
Any thing else you would like to do throughout the course of that day once you've freed yourself of that pursuit?
The dock is cool now, right? Because that scene is over?
Yes, you do calm down from the gunpowder panic. Once people stop shooting guns around you.
I mean, I sort of do want to take a parting shot at Mr. Tentacle Boy.
I mean,
If
you want to take a parting shot, you can take parting shots for the next 600 feet. So
It's true. And then we can use the trebuchet.
Oh, true. Oh, we are getting to where we can use a trebuchet, and that probably doesn't scare anybody, right?
There you go.
Trebuchet does not
Oz,
cause gunpowder panic.
Oz is gonna get a little thunder jacket for for the dog.
Just a reminder that ACS Plus Hemp Dispensary does sell CBD oil for dogs as well. we had a sale on it on 4th of July for that very
Oh my
reason.
god, I love that. Here you go, Doc. Just take this little gummy.
Put on this straight jacket and take a gummy.
Exactly.
No, our oil is bacon flavored.
Of course it is.
Well, for the dogs, not for people. Although we use a food grade.
You're missing out on
bacon.
a market there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's going dangerously close to the George Jetson meal and a pill at that point.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind taking a trebuchet shot at this boy just to see.
I was actually going to say I wouldn't mind taking a meal pill.
What
I
would
was
you
gonna
like
say
to?
I would love that. That's the dream.
What would you like to load the trebuchet with? You have a few options.
I have options.
One
Let me know
thing-
these options.
You could
What's
throw. You could throw the heaviest thing you probably have is a barrel of rum or water. That's probably the heaviest thing you have.
Oh, you don't like have dedicated trebuchet stuff?
I mean, you could throw
Like I could put
a
a cannonball in it.
in it if you wanted to. That's fine. Other things that you might be able to throw in there is you have a gun dog on board and you have multiple cannon. You have a cannon. So if you wanted to just put a drum of gunpowder on it, light it with a wick and fire that way, you certainly
Sounds
could
kinda
do
fun.
so as well.
Putting a cannon on the trebuchet. I came up with a.
Any uplifted creature can also be a passenger on a trebuchet. Just FYI. Should you ever need to throw someone at somebody, you can do so with a trebuchet.
Wow. I mean, I'm not going to do it, but I love the idea of being able to shoot a cannon.
Yes.
Never mind. I came
Just
up with
a
a
whole
bit.
cannon.
Yeah, I came up with a bit a long time ago called. It was about a thing called the gun, and it shot a gun at the enemy, and then unfortunately armed them. So I invented a gun, and so that when they tried to shoot us, it would fire back at us, and that gun.
Why did you
With
load
fire-
the guns in the gun?
It was silly. but the third gun shot a flaming garden gnome.
Oh, well,
Of course,
Not a statue.
Fair. Yes, correct.
A real
just
consenting involuntary garden gnome on fire. Little man loved fire. Anybody get that reference? Oh, Firefly. Anyway, okay. Let me ask this quick before I drag this bit on anymore. As far as so the rum just contributes to our structural integrity and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't really serve there's no malady or anything that'll cure.
I mean,
Because throwing the water sounds like a bad idea, but the
Sure.
rum, I mean,
rum is carried because it's
fun.
easy to preserve. It's fun.
Oh,
And it has medicinal uses in addition to just being easy to preserve and fun. But having said that, you have ample, and right now
Okay.
you have not suffered any seaworthiness loss at all on this journey.
Okay.
In fact, your seaworthiness is above peak right now. So
okay. So
it's really not going to lobbing a barrel of rum at this thing ain't going to put you back in any.
do we have a flaming garden? No.
You do not have a flaming garden, no.
Do we have some days you just can't get rid of a bomb?
Not really, unfortunately. You could make one with a keg of gunpowder.
Okay, so but we
That's
have plenty of gunpowder at present.
I'm going to assume that between the 6-pounder and the gun dog, you have plenty of gunpowder on this ship at the moment.
I'm gonna lob some gunpowder at that unholy terror.
All right, excellent.
Oz will carry it over for you.
I would like
Thank you, because I'm a mouse and probably couldn't.
I would like you to. You can, since you're getting assistance from the gun dog, you can have advantage on this. But I do need you to make your attack check. And if you, I would like to remind you that if you botch this attack check, that gunpowder is
hilarious.
going to go off much sooner than you anticipated.
Okay.
Double ones.
Okay.
Double ones.
Well, I guess-
Double ones.
I do get to add proficiency and dexterity to this roll, or I would decline.
Double ones. Double ones.
Crush you. Oh, the second one. I don't know. This never happens. I swear this isn't. It's a nat 20.
Excellent.
The second one was a nat 20.
So you, as a
I'm like,
well-oiled machine, like
watch this shit, guys.
you look at the captain, and whether it's just
Babe Ruth it.
like whether it's just like because you're getting to know one another's vibe, or if it's the beginnings of some psychic connection, it's like you're just right there. Like you don't
Secret handshake, and they go.
Aren't words
like
exchanged? You just look at one another. Look at the trebuchet. Captain grabs the thing. You like rip a sleeve off of your pirate shirt to turn into a wick, and just in one fluid motion, drop it in place, pop the wick in, light the wick, and let the trebuchet go. And
we both walk away from the explosion in slow
We
motion.
put on some sunglasses.
Excellent. As you're walking away from the explosion in slow motion, what Liam and the doctor and the crew that you've saved from this other ship can see is the tendrils of this thing reach up into the air and catch the thing and the keg and bring it down into its core mass.
Oh, buddy.
Oh my god.
I'm glad there's no Geneva in this world. 'Cause we would have that convention real good. Go and roll for damage.
As it explodes, it shoots a geyser of rainbow-colored water into the air about 200 feet, and then just sort of rains down.
I put on I take off my little mouse sunglasses and go, there she blows. I hope I backed up from the microphone enough that wasn't horrible for everybody involved.
No, it was fine. It was so good. In fact, I'm putting another point in the fortune.
Horrible for different reasons.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Oh my god.
And that is your excitement for the day. Given the difficulties that you have gone through, I am going to require a integrity check be made for the ship today at a minus 40. So what that would do is you're going to try to roll. Let me just double check this here. Pardon me while I dig up all these rules.
Can you guys hear the neighbor's music?
I don't hear anything coming through your mic but you. So,
running up that hill again.
I
mean, I don't hate the song, but I don't get the fuss either.
So you'll need to make an integrity check. I need you to roll a D100. You'll see where it's going to be considered a plus 40 penalty. I apologize because I forgot how these checks work. So you're going to roll a D100. You'll add 40 to the result. You're trying to get under your seaworthiness. I'll have the captain make that roll, please.
Wait, under, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Oh, you know what? Sorry, hang on. That's the wrong die. What am I doing? I'm losing my mind. I was like, I just rolled a 2 or a nat 1 on my D20. I was like, wait, this isn't a D20 roll. Krista, what are you doing? 84.
All right, so add 40 to that. So that's 130 or 124. What's your seaworthiness currently?
It was like 120, wasn't it?
But we have that plus 7 or plus 8, so 128. I guess still that's still above.
So you rolled below it, right?
No, if it was 134, 134 is above 128.
Right. Okay. So,
is that good or bad?
It's not
I don't
good.
even know.
It's bad. We want to roll below.
Yeah, you want to roll below your seaworthiness. So,
well, there's the bot you were hoping for, Krista.
There we go. Finally, we finally get it.
Well, the good news is it doesn't completely ruin your day, but it does shift your ship's condition to unsafe.
What?
Ooh, that's not good.
Do I get to use the first mate roll at all on this? Or is that's only once a day, right?
That's once per day, and that's to
Okay.
present seaworthiness loss. You didn't suffer any seaworthiness loss. This is just what has happened is as you have
One
all
good
the
thing about a new
exchange.
campaign is I don't know enough about the rules to be a rules lawyer.
All right, that's fair.
Yes.
In all of this exchange of fire, exchange of supplies, things going back and forth, all the chaos, the gunpowder panic, and maybe a bit of zombie negligence. Some of the
So hard
supply
to find good help these
stores,
days.
absolutely. Some of the supply stores seem to have been contaminated. Looks like maybe some of the rum got spilled in some of the food. Possibly some of the gunpowder got spilled in some of the food.
Oh, gross.
So
Just adds a little kick.
the way that this functions is while your ship is considered unsafe, any rolls that you make to operate the ship are made at disadvantage, and your seaworthiness loss is doubled.
How do we fix that?
You can, in this particular instance, basically whatever causes that condition, there's generally a repair. In this particular instance, because it's largely supply contamination, if you drop your speed to normal and spend the time like cleaning out the supplies, separating stuff, sifting, you can remove the unsafe condition. You will not be able to remove the unsafe condition while you are moving along at full clip with these bellows going.
Sure.
You will, if nothing else, compound the problem as you're like opening up kegs to try to scrape off contaminated stuff from the top and then blowing shit into other kegs.
Yeah.
The wind will be
okay.
literally zipping by
how-
you as you.
How far do we think we are from?
Per the map, you expect to arrive, like you are now in the region of the Acid Sea where people notoriously go missing while they're looking for this island.
Okay.
So you're effectively you're in the Bermuda Triangle right now.
Okay.
And we have I'm sorry, Krista, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask if we can consult with the other captain or at least the other shipmate, if they had similar coordinates to us, like if we're not totally off track.
Sure.
But don't we have something of an inside track and an artifact we can actually use once the island manifests to kind of steer us true north, so to speak?
There's a artifact on the island that lets you find.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting we haven't gotten it
That's
yet.
the irony.
Yep. It's like rain on your wedding day.
Yep.
So
But thanks to our high-level magical buddies that have conscripted us to this very thing, we kind of know, presumably better than at least the average racer, where this place should be.
Sure,
right?
but having said that, though, there's no harm in comparing notes, and you did, in fact.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I specifically noted that you got a hold of their logs. So
Right.
Yes.
I guess my question is like, so this isn't just a race about speed. It is a race also about knowing where the finish line is. And I think we could possibly slow things down a bit to fix things, I guess is where I'm going with that. But another question, getting rid of supplies that are contaminated, et cetera, that will hit our seaworthiness a little bit. Correct?
Right.
Or
So-
no?
Yeah, so if you wanted to just take a hit of 20 seaworthiness and just call it a day, like dumping supplies, basically, you could remove the unsafe condition without having to do any actual repair.
Okay.
You'd just be making the rest of your voyage at 20 less seaworthiness.
But our seaworthiness is still pretty buff, right?
You're still
We're at
above 100.
128, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only reason that you're suffering a penalty on this is because you went through a lengthy
Pretty rigorous fight.
fight.
Okay.
Plus, you were also astride that sinking ship for some time while there were acid sea sharks swimming around down there.
Exactly.
They might have bumped some stuff. So effectively, the one thing that you can leverage if you're running Pirates of Pugmire, one way you can leverage environmental hazard as opposed to like something that comes to a skill check is just by giving that bonus to the roll on the seaworthiness check.
Nice.
It's like a circumstance modifier that you can apply.
Love that. Dr. Bones, Liam, Brisby, I believe in my old girl here, and I think I think we can survive on a little shorter rations for the next little while. I think we should push through. What do you think?
I'm a mouse. I don't eat nothing. I'm all good with it.
I think we should get along
He
just
says
fine.
with a giant wheel of cheese in his hand.
Where did you even get that?
Tastes like gunpowder.
All right, so
Liam, what do you think?
Well, we wouldn't want to lose our rightful place in the race now, would we? So,
True. I know you have a very delicate constitution, so I didn't want to set off your stomach by not giving it all it needs.
It's not delicate, it's just knowing what I like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Liam's diva, totally diva. Does not like being called like delicate.
And yet on their rider, no green M&Ms.
right.
Yes.
As the
Any
mouse on
chocolate?
board, I'm all good with the cat not being hungry.
Yeah, there you go.
As you're working your way through this conversation, you dump the contaminated supplies. You may reduce your seaworthiness by 20 and continue on your merry. We come to the final day of your journey. So let's have that roll to avoid seaworthiness, please, from our first mate. I do not need the D20 from the captain because that is a random encounter check, and these encounters ain't about to be random.
5. He has a 5.
Excellent. You have prevented the further seaworthiness loss. You've gone through, looked over like what's left, supplies wise, gotten with the quartermaster to sort of readjust rations, and you should be fine. Everything should be fine. As the sun hits the middle of the sky, as you hit about noon on this day, you can see off in the distance the very peaks of land sort of sticking out.
Land ho!
I would like you all to make a notice check with disadvantage, please.
Oh no.
I have the notice skill, so do I just neutralize that, or do I still have to?
Nope, this is straight disadvantage
Oh
because
my god!
okay.
I got a nat 20 and an 18. This is great.
Oh no!
So 23. 23.
11.
Said disadvantage, right?
that is correct.
Okay.
8.
Beautiful.
14, actually.
So the
I get my
majority of
modifiers are
you,
pretty okay there.
majority of you are oohing and eyeing at the island. Brisby, you're keeping your eyes peeled, but don't. And you can see some movement off in the distance, but nothing like leaps out at you as like that's a ship
I'm
or that's
glad.
trouble.
No leaping.
However, Dr. Bones, as you're looking out the rear of the ship, you very clearly, right at the horizon line, see a green mass approaching.
Well, looks like we're going to be in for a fight. How do you feel about a rematch, Captain Number 2?
He gets up. I'll hunt them to the ends of the earth.
Well, I mean, you won't have to. They're literally right there. Can you not?
He reaches over and grabs a spyglass from a random zombie.
His eye is stuck to it. So,
Wait, why does the skeleton have an eye?
He says, "By Jove, it's them."
No, my name's Dr. Bones.
By Dr. Bones, it's them.
Ah, there we go. There we go.
Great Scott.
I am a great Scot.
You are indeed, Mr. Bones. Dr.
Rocky.
Bones.
I don't know. It felt like it went
I
there
didn't,
somewhere.
I didn't go to obedience school for 8 years to be called Mister.
Oh, I didn't even make the Rocky Horror connection until you just did it. Why we got to be so early in the morning, yo?
So, are you going to? It looks like they're a ways off. So, do you want to try to risk anchoring the boat, checking the island, looking for the stuff, or do you want to try to fight these? Turn around and fight these pirates off first.
They're legendary pirates.
How big is this island?
The island itself is actually pretty small. Looks like the kind of thing that as you grow closer to it, you can actually see the far side of the island from.
So like
Right
a
from
couple
your boat.
hours to walk around.
If that. I mean, it is not. It is a tiny little island. You can see there is a cracked mast sticking up from the far side of the island, like something had been shipwrecked over there.
Perhaps we go hide amongst the shipwrecks.
It's not a bad plan.
Not a bad plan at all.
Quick question. So, like, we've been able to keep our boat intact by dry docking or lifting our boat out of the water at the actual ports. When we come to this island, we won't be able to.
It just loses seaworthiness every day it sits.
Okay. Yeah.
And as long
I
as
think we should get in, get out.
and just FYI, as long as the first mate remains aboard, they can continue that thing. But all of your crew abilities cease to function as soon as you step off the ship.
Can I use the helm of Animate Dead to teach a skeleton how to be a first mate?
No, that would require you to redraw the articles and make that skeleton the first mate.
Exactly. No, that's all good. Let's just I'd say we anchor around with the busted up ships if we can navigate into there, and then we get in and get out as quick as possible.
Who would Oz like to actually manage the steering wheel while you are trying to park this ship amongst a bunch of wrecks?
I suppose that would be what's that check?
It's dexterity check.
Just straight dexterity.
Yep. Now
I guess it's gonna be me or Brisby probably.
My dexterity is pretty good. It's +4.
The sailing master grants an advantage on this because they are able to plot navigation, point out like, oh, don't go over there. There's rapids over there. I said don't.
Yeah.
I
said no.
Watch out! It's
Absolutely.
Kevin Bacon. He looks mad. That was a
Bacon?
deep cut.
There's only one thing that smells like bacon, and that's bacon.
It's bacon.
As featured in our CBD oil pet drops.
Now I want to make a Pugmire character who just owns a restaurant, and his name is Kevin Bacon, and he serves a lot of bacon.
Just serves bacon strips.
Right.
Um.
So yeah, if you would like to make that dexterity check, or if you'd like to have Brisby pilot, it's up to you.
Yeah, Brisby's gonna has a better dex. So Oz will stand and kind of slightly to the right there. You want to turn this way, and give some like tips on it. But
I think I'll need definitely some advice on this. Yeah.
And our crow is in the nest, so
Yeah. So you have dexterity. It's just going to be a straight dexterity check, and that will be with advantage.
Okay.
Your proficiency will not apply. Though.
Okay. All right. Let it get to roll again. Okay. So that's a 15 plus a 4. That's a 19.
Excellent. So you managed to
That's
make
how math works.
You manage to make your way through, and you realize that the shipwrecks. There's probably 5 or 6 ships that are dashed on the rocks on this side of the island.
Start on target.
Yeah,
Start on
they're
target.
not great, but the good news is that many of them seem to have pushed over or embedded themselves upon enough of the larger jutting rocks that there is a smooth enough sort of little path for you to make your way up toward the shore with.
So we can kind of profit off of their mistakes, in other words.
Effectively, yeah.
Okay.
So as you get to the closest you can to the landmass and drop anchor, it occurs to you have 3 ways to get onto the island itself. You can try swinging from shipwreck to shipwreck until you make it to dry land, and then that was someone's phone.
Sorry.
No
I
worries.
am in yet another house to the landline. This is the second game that a landline has interrupted.
No worries at all. Tech happens, even old tech. So you can try to like jump ship to ship to the shore. You play the world's largest game of the floor is lava. You could try to either drop a temporary like a raft and see if you can make your way to the shore before the raft disintegrates, or you can just try to swim it.
Wow. Oh, such great options. Well, as I'm a dexterous sword, I mean, as much as I thought, oh, I don't want to swing from ship to ship. That sounds stupid. All right. So, what are the chances of the raft making it, I guess, to the... and will it make it back, I guess, is the other...
Well, your ship itself does not currently have a lifeboat on it.
Okay.
So you could
You'd have to
effectively...
make one?
Effectively, what you would wind up doing is ripping some seaworthiness off of your ship to build a raft. So that would determine how long. Now, as long as it stays in there for less than a day, you could probably make a raft out of 8 to 10 seaworthiness.
And because the raft is smaller, once we get to land, we could
You could pull it ashore.
up on the shore.
Yeah. So realistically, unless you run in the risk you'd run with the raft, most likely would be if you run into something you don't see out there and it rips the raft or something. That's where you'd have your biggest threat. Or alternatively, you could sacrifice more seaworthiness to have a safer raft. So if, for example, you dumped all of the rum out of a couple of barrels and tied those barrels together that you could all ride together and said, I'm going to blow 20 seaworthiness on it, you have a raft that has 20 seaworthiness. Your hull is going to be 10 pretty much no matter what. Another option that you might have if you wanted to is try to jump over onto one of these other wrecks that is still melting into the acid sea and rip pieces off of it to build a raft with.
Since I am a dexterous sort, that sounds like not a bad tack to, because I really I know our seaworthiness is pretty good right now, but I mean, pretty good isn't great.
It isn't great, and you still have to get back. Never minding the dangerous pirates that are on the other side of this island, you still have to get back to a dock.
Water Dog Port, right? So,
right.
I'm okay with jumping across to this boat right here and trying to make a raft out of that stuff. If that's okay with the group.
That sounds good to me.
So I have a question.
Sure.
Do we still have the potion of resistance to acid given to us by Morty from the
Not
start?
yet. None of you have used it.
Okay, cool. Would that help in case of someone falling overboard?
Yes, you would effectively take half damage from the acid sea.
Can I oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bianca.
I would like to pilfer them.
All right, so you're gonna pop one?
No, it's just like I would like to have it on my body.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're just making sure that there is one definitely on you in case things go sideways.
We have a couple of them, right?
I thought you had gotten one for each of you.
Oh yeah, we did. All right.
Did
Well,
I thought.
Okay.
I'd only
just go with
written
it. Just go with it.
Okay, yes, of course.
Okay. So say that I plunge. How long does the acid resistance last if we take the potion? Is it like a day? Is it 10 minutes?
Potions last for an hour unless otherwise.
Could I take it after I plunge into the acid sea? Maybe
Yes.
taking a little initial damage, but then staving off the rest.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. For 100% clarity, it does not stave off damage. It just makes it
Less.
Yeah, it makes you take half.
Okay. And I'm not going to have any kind of gaps in knowledge or skills or whatever when it comes to making a raft once I get over there.
You would need to make some sort of like a.
I got to survive skill.
Survive would be fine.
Okay. I've got traverse and survive, and I think I'll need them more. Oh, you know what? I had the notice skill when we were looking at the stuff. Not that it matters because other people saw it. I probably could have used that, couldn't I have? Or
Yeah,
no?
and notice when you were looking at the
island
ship?
Yeah. Whatever, as long as one of us saw it, I guess. But
so you can let's go ahead and get a traverse check to get you over to the other ship.
let's do it. Advantage, disadvantage,
Just a
regular
straight
style.
regular old check, unless you want to tap into the fortune bowl to get advantage.
I don't think I'll need that.
Okay.
It didn't roll high, but I got proficiency stuff out the butt. Well, it's not great. It's 15. You tell me, do I take one out of the fortune bowl or not?
15 was your result?
Yeah. Total, yeah.
Yeah, you grab onto a spare piece of rigging and swing over to the nearest ship. This ship is almost like it's up at an angle like this. So the nose is poking out. The downside of that means at the bottom of it is kind of like the soupy, plasticky mess where the ship has been degrading over time into the acid sea. But the area that you're in has been dried and had most of the water rush off of it long ago. So it makes for good salvage.
Okay.
So let's get that survival check. You would normally have advantage on this because you're literally like doing a thing that this is designed for. But you are working while trying to cling to the side of a ship that is at like a 70-degree angle. So I'm going to negate your advantage.
Oh, fair enough. What is what modifier is survive again?
Usually off of wisdom.
Okay, that's fine. It's my second highest score. Okay. Hello, Fortune Bowl. No need. I rolled a 17 plus all kinds of bonuses. I mean, I don't know. You tell me. Maybe you're plotting something horrible, but 25 is the aggregate. So
not only do you rip off enough planks and manage to lash them together to create a reasonably sturdy raft, I will give you a choice of increasing its seaworthiness to 25 or its hull to 12.
I can't imagine. So hull is once again more like armor class.
Right.
I was going to say, I can't imagine armor class will come into play, but we could really encounter something in between now and there, couldn't we?
Right. Like, for example, if you hit a rock, your hull might come into play.
And as long we're going to get in and get out and drag it up on shore. So seaworthiness is going to take a bit of a hit, but not much. I think I'm going to put that into the hull then, if that's okay. With every, I mean, can I confer with the group? I mean, technically, I'm probably.
Yeah, you can shout back and forth. Like this ship that you pulled up next to is probably 20 feet away.
Well, I mean, if I jump to it, it can't be that.
Yeah, I mean, like you swang from a piece of rigging that was miraculously somewhere that let you swing that far, and you can shout.
Or the SS Deus Ex Machina,
right? Like that, like the rope that Luke swings off of from Jabba's barge. That's clearly not connected to anything. Has no reference in physics whatsoever, but cool, Luke.
That's the way we do it. I use the
So-
Force too.
So Krista has just sent me a message. They're just helping their grandparents with something over the phone real quick, so they'll be back in a few minutes.
No worries.
Okay.
I just took a glance at the clock and realized kind of where we are at time-wise.
Sure.
So I actually do need to start buttoning us up for the session. Normally I wouldn't mind going a few minutes behind, but I actually have a meeting I have to hop on pretty much right after this call. So for, I think, a fairly good wrapping up point would probably be that you managed to grab the supplies, lash the raft together, and dangle it
Died.
from that. There's a nautical term that escapes me for the pole that sticks out of the front of the ship.
The mast?
Is that the mast? I thought the mast was the thing
I
you
think
tied.
it's the masthead.
Masthead.
The masthead is the statue that goes on the mast, I think.
Is
Oh.
it? Maybe. That part.
All right.
Anyone who's ever sailed in a boat can correct me. For one thing, I keep using boat, and I should probably be using ship, but that's neither here nor there. You have built the raft. You've built a pulley system where you can drop it into the water from the other ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of everyone making sure that they have everything they need before you embark on the journey, which is something that we will address at the top of next session, if that's all right with everyone. Cool.
Nice.
So let's go ahead and do our outros. But before we do, any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about today's session?
Well, I just want to make sure.
Advance.
I just want to make sure everybody's cool with me putting it in the hull instead of seaworthiness. Or could I even split it? I think hull's the best way to go, though.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
Did you
Do
say
we
something?
gain an advancement this session?
What will probably happen is, because we're literally in the middle of action, we will apply in advance at the end of whatever scene this winds up becoming. Make
Okay, cool.
sense? Because technically you gain your advance when you sleep.
Okay.
So we will do a bit of an advance mid-session. So if you want to plan ahead for what your advance is going to be, so we can just apply it.
I have some great ones. We would have been saved a lot of time if I'd had water walk before this episode.
There's also some interesting spells in Morty Corgi's acid shanties. There's actually one spell that is in there, I believe, lets you just summon a magical boat.
I did have one question. It's almost a little too late for.
Sure.
Would Liam have been able to cast wall for us to walk on over the water? Like turn it sideways instead of perpendicular style?
It would,
Because stone is one of the things you can do, right?
I would probably allow it. The way that would probably have to work is one of two ways. One way would be if if planting the wall in the water so that you're walking along the top of the wall, it's a foot wide, to the other ship. Another would be like if you literally made the wall like flat across the other.
Yeah,
you know what I
sideways.
mean?
Yeah.
But then you'd be walking at a really funky angle on a wall that has zero purchase. So yes.
Oh, you
could
wouldn't
do
let
that.
it be a 90-degree angle. It would be like.
Well, it would if it was planted in the acid sea between the two boats. I could see that. So I mean, yeah, probably.
The only thing is, like, it's not that quite that long, so Liam would have to cast it again real quick, and then concentration's over, so we'd have to really like be on it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We got a raft, but maybe for escape purposes, getting off the island.
Yeah, you can always cast. You can place the wall of force or the wall of the magic wall at any orientation that you want. It just has to have something that it's sitting on, otherwise it will fall. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So like if you pop it up at an angle like this, as soon as you're done casting the spell, if there's nothing to hold the top, it's just going to go
fall.
bunk.
Ooh, we could make it land on somebody. You're dead, pal.
I mean, yes, you could. That would be effectively the same thing as casting it in the space they're standing. You just would cover a bigger space.
Okay. Anyway, enough of my hypotheticals.
And did you have a question, Kelly?
No, you answered it. It's all good.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Well, on that bright and shiny, then let's go ahead and do our outros. Let's start things off with Liam. Please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would like to promote.
Right. So my name is Bianca. I've been playing Liam, a very selfish, very selfish, egotistical cat, inflated sense of ego and self-preservation. So.
And I love every minute of it. But continue.
Player, she, her. Cat is he, him.
Excellent. Anything you would like to promote? Point people at?
Nothing that I can think of off the top of my head.
No worries. Next up, we have Brisby. Please give us all of your pertinent details.
I will only give you some. I like to achieve a little mystery here.
That's fair.
My name is Tim Stotts, he, him. Brisby is also he, him. He's a charming and speedy little mouse fella. So therefore, I am the most adorable in the group. He's kind of pretty quick to rush into things, it looks like. It's like the way I'm playing him, it looks like. As far as things to promote, look us up on the gram at ACS plus hemp. Plus is spelled. And you can buy some pet tincture with bacon flavor for your pets.
Fight off the gunpowder panic.
Yeah.
And just a quick catch up, because I know you had to step away for a second. So what had happened in your absence, Oz, was that Brisby had jumped over one of the nearby shipwrecks. You got in, you anchored. Brisby jumped over one of the nearby shipwrecks and built a temporary raft out of flotsam from that ship. And that's where we will pick things up next session.
Beautiful.
But since I have your attention, why don't you tell us who you are, what you do, who you've been playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, anything that you'd like to promote.
Absolutely. Hi, I'm Krista. I use they, them, or she, her. I've been playing Oz, which I don't think I've revealed what that's short for yet. And who uses he, him pronouns, who is a delightful old gun dog, gun tort, something like that. Yeah, he's delightful, and I'm very much enjoying this game, and you guys are all wonderful. Thank you so much for inviting me to play in this. It's been great. I do apologize. My grandparents are on a cruise in Mexico and needed to extend their roaming package, and I'm having trouble logging into their phone plan.
No worries.
Grandparents.
Tech happens, but so does life. So
doesn't it just?
It will find a way.
It won't it just. So anyway, I got to participate in a really cool event this weekend called Andrea's Adventures, which was a charity stream with Adventure Dice, which is a very cool local dice company. Well, local if you are on the Pacific Northwest over us here in British Columbia. But we're raising money for the Canadian Cancer Society. So if you don't feel like coming and watching some D&D and watching some Spelljammer, which Kelly and I are going to be doing right after this over at Dork Tales, which is where you can normally find me, twitch.tv/dorktales. You can also go check out twitch.tv/plaid dog events. And because I think the charity is going for the rest of the day, and they're raising money for the Canadian Cancer Society, which is a really, really great organization. And some of our other team members from Dork Tales, Trizalta and Robin, are going to be over playing more pirates. So if you're really in a piratey mood, they're going to be playing pirates at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can go check them out. Other than that, I'm sure Kelly will also want to talk about this, but we're doing Extra Life again coming up on November 5th. When that whole weekend we're playing a minimum of 13 games. I don't know if we're looking at
14. I think it's going to be 14. And Travis is going to be in some of those, so that's going to be fun.
Yes.
This is true. I am going to show up as a player. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait.
We're finally getting them over. Other than that, you can also find me on Saturdays at Loft Stupid RPG, where we play Heroes of Theros D&D game.
Beautiful. And last but not least, that brings us to Kelly, to Dr. Bones himself. Please give us your pronoun.
All right, so we're both he/hims, and very fun playing this, especially once I wake up around the halfway point and it's no longer 7:30 in the morning.
Relatable content.
It's worth it to get to see all your smiling faces, and to do a Sean Connery voice for like 3 hours. Pretty good.
Thanks for having me on. And if you want to see more of me, you can catch me and Krista and others at twitch.tv/dorktales in 53 minutes for Spelljammer, Light of Xerxes. Today we're doing half a session to finish up the previous chapter of the module. And then we're going to spend about an hour talking about how to run the module because people really like to tune into us for advice. But it's a lot of us complaining about pre-written modules and then backtracking so we don't offend anybody.
I support it. I enjoy it, and I will formally request that one day you give Dead Man's Rust the same treatment.
Oh man, it's a biggie. It's a big one.
You can speed run it. You can speed run it.
Okay.
It only took us 24 sessions to get through it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not terrible, actually.
Actually, not too bad.
I mean,
yeah, 24 is about our average.
They started. I was nice to them, so they started 6th level when they started the campaign.
Okay.
So the early phases of the campaign were cakewalks for them, very much so. It was very easy in terms of the challenge, because I didn't want them to die early. But yeah, I think you can. I bet you can get through the entire book in 20-25 sessions. Just to
I'll
FYI.
consider that. Yeah.
Which reminds me, Dead Man's Rust is now available. You go to your friendly local game store, tell them you want Dead Man's Rust. But also, we are currently, it's They Came From month. And I would like to encourage everyone, the They Came From Beneath the Sea sale has ended. So you need to make sure you visit theonyxpath.com tomorrow for the Monday meeting notes to see what is next in the celebration. Because there will be more sales. However, if you go over to Indie Press Revolution, and there are plenty of ongoing sales as part of October, where you can get half off on, or up to half off on printed books. So I recommend checking that out as well. I'm Travis, he, they. When I'm not here running games, I am writing them. And I have already eaten up far too much of everybody's morning with paying the bills here at the end. So I will call it a day. But I would encourage you to head over to Dork Tales later on to check out their stream. I would encourage you to follow, subscribe if you've not yet done so. And make sure you've got your shots, wear a mask, wash your hands, take care of yourselves and each other. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.